Hello and welcome back to another Slay the Spire stream. I'm your host, Vegetablebread, and today is a somewhat different stream. So today we are going to be not playing the game, but rather reviewing the past month of playing the game. So we spent the past month playing only Defect, trying to get better at playing the cute little robot. And so now it's time to collect statistics, see how we did, and see what we want to change in the future. Good morning, Raish Crypto Z. Hello, hello. How do we do the thing? Run history, and that's the one. Statistics, run history. All right, so first let's just count how many runs we did, and open up a new Sublime text document, and you know, start doing the thing. Okay, so. Alright, so we played all month, so once this thing goes back to 4-1, we are probably done. So we've got one run here, and there might be some that we, like, choose to not count for some reason or another, if we, like, conceded early or played off stream or something. So we'll see if there's any of those, and so we have to, like, associate a memory with each of these runs, basically. This one we just played yesterday, orange palletsy things. So it's 1, 2, I don't remember this one. I guess just count first. Let's not do the memory association yet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 26. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to go through and see if any of those like don't count, or and actually remember what was happening on all of them. Okay, so first run of the month was an ectoplasm swap. Tremendous. Looks like we were trying to do consume capacitor stuff. Died to an Act 2 hallway fight. I don't see any reason why this doesn't count. Let's also make a note on where we died. Okay, so we died to an Act 2 hallway fight. There was a scrape and a beam cell in the deck. 2 electrodynamics, man. Huh. Sort of weird this one died to an Act 2 hallway fight. I wonder what happened. We took 54 damage to Chosen Cultist. Dang. Huh, we killed a Gremlin Leader with only 5 damage. What the hell? Something really bad happened in this Chosen Cultist fight. Also, having 25 health and taking 54 damage means something weird happened. I guess we had Ornithopter, maybe we drank potions. Yeah, this was an Ornithopter White Beast statue run, too. Weird. This one died in Act 1 to Lagavulin. Looks like he was our 3rd elite, so probably just died to Ambitious Pathing here. 10 damage to Sentries, upgraded to Reprogram. That's ambitious. Took 32 damage to Gremlin Nub. Wait, how did we survive that? Oh, we started at 46. Wow, and then at 14 we were like, you know what? Let's go fight another elite. I mean, we must have been forced into this elite. There's no way we would have done this intentionally. We were at 1 health. Yeah, so it wasn't really Lagavulin that killed us. It was trying to do reprogram against Gremlin Nub. I'm actually going to give Gremlin Nub the kill credit for this. Lagavulin only did 1 damage. Okay. Wow, we picked a Serpent Head. We were so desperate after taking Busted Ground, I guess, that we wanted to catch up. All for 1 hologram deck. It looks like we were looking for the Madness combo. Got rid of almost all of our strikes. We were down to 2 strikes and 3 defense by the end. Empty Cage, and we must have removed an Act 1. Yep, removed an event. Upgraded to Strike. Oh no. Masked Bandits. Do we count that as a Act 2 hallway or an Act 2 elite? Looks like we really died to Avocado here. Because we took 31 damage there. We walked into the bandit fight with 12 health. You almost beat your Ascension record on stream the other night with a Busted Crown Relic swap start. Interesting. What do you mean by Ascension record? Like you raised your Ascension level? Or nearly did? Yeah, I feel like we definitely died to Avocado here. Oh, I see. So you're raising your Ascension level. Yeah, cool. Well, congratulations. Yeah, I guess this is just a Busted Crown loss, right? It's weird that we got upgrades on Strike and Dual Cast. What the hell were we thinking here? Oh, we had an All for One? Why not, like, Ball Lightning for the upgrade? Skip Barrage is weird. Well... Alright, so we'll count this as dying to Parasite. I don't know, is it... I'm gonna count it as hallway fights. You can debate that, I guess, but for me, that's dying to hallway fights. Okay, a tiny house swap. We were doing what? We had a Hyper Beam. Oh, Hyper Beam and 2 reprograms, and we lost to Guardian. What in the heck? I guess we just didn't have any block. We had 2 to 4 defends. How in the world did we lose this? I guess we just walked into Guardian with 16 health, and that wasn't enough. Seems like it should have been enough. Alright. No, we skipped the Shining Light. It's right here. I guess we just got overconfident? I don't even understand. We had 2 reprogram pluses. Easy to imagine why we were feeling really strong there. 2 reprogram pluses, 2 strike pluses too. Oh, I see. You're talking about why we had the strike pluses. Yeah. Why did we have strike pluses? Oh, it's from the Whetstone. Yeah, these strikes were hitting so hard. We had reprograms, Whetstone, and Strike Dummy. So these strikes were hitting for like, I don't know, 14. At the end of the fight. Yeah, Tets, we definitely don't have enough information to answer that question. Especially not with that small amount of context, right? Because you have to measure the Niao options relative both to each other and to the pathing that's available, so it's pretty much an unanswerable question. We'll definitely, like, we'll pay attention to if, like, when boss swaps killed us. This was a win, so no death here. I guess I should count the deaths, huh? I've got 4 recorded currently. I guess I'll just count them as I'm going through. Yeah, that's all of them. Okay. So this is a win. Meteor Strike. With no snack. How were we playing this Meteor Strike? Because we had charge batteries and Pandora's Box. It's a weird plan. We just had a million relics here. So many. Pandora's Box, always super strong. Echo Form. Yeah, just a lot of really strong stuff here. Took 1 damage to the heart. Dang. Did I see a recycle? Was this an infinite? Recycle, compile driver, meteor strike, and what? Fusion was in here too? Oh yeah, it was Menace. But wait, how did we draw the cards? Oh, Cool Head Plus. Cool Head Plus compile driver. Yeah, so this wasn't infinite. I'm not sure if we actually pulled it off, but killing the heart in 7 turns sure smells like an infinite, right? It's like you damage capped 3 times and took 1 turn to set up. Fun. Okay. This one died to Gremlin Nod. This is very first boss, floor 6. He hit us for 48. We had 2 claws. Man, 2 claws and a glacier. Dude, what the hell, Gremlin Nod? We shouldn't be mad at Ecto here. Ecto didn't do anything. Ecto just gave us extra energy. I guess we did go to a shop, but, like, we only missed, like, 10 gold at the shop before we died. Ecto was good here. Huh. I guess claws aren't good enough against Gremlin Nod? That's kind of surprising. I would not have expected that. Parasite Fungi Beast. Another Act 2 hallway death. Wait, how did we start the act at 30? Shouldn't we have ended with a healing? I guess... I always get confused. Is the health listed the health at the end of the fight or the beginning? It must be the end of the fight, because we were at 30 and then it says 7 damage, 23. So we really ditched die to these muggers. We took 31 to muggers as soon as we arrived. Yeah. Alright, another win for the Act 2 hallway fights. And that's 6 total deaths. This one was a win. Snecko Eye, swap, Meteor Strike. A lot of upgrades. Black Star. Membership card. A lot of good stuff going on here. Mummified Hand. The Choker's kind of weird. Choker Mummified Hand. I bet I regretted that. But we still got a win, so. Wow, we took 92 damage to the heart. Whoa. Wow. How in the world did we have 92 damage to give? We were at 84. I guess we would have healed up to 86. I'm not seeing... I guess we had Ornithopter. Yeah, it must have been Ornithopter. Dang. Whew. 92 damage heart fight. Yikes. But it's a win. This one died to the heart. Oh, was there a potion belt there? I missed the potion belt. Yeah. So this thing's probably full. Potion belt, Ornithopter. Have yourself a time. So this one died to the heart. It's our first death that wasn't in Act 2 or Act 1. I think the heart killed us like 4 times this month. After not dying to the heart a single time during Silent Month, we died to the heart quite a bit as Defect. It's pretty interesting that there's like so different, right? It's like the Silent, if you get to the heart, you probably have the tools to take him. But Defect, I don't feel like that's true. Defect just like can totally limp into the heart fight. Yeah. What was the problem here? We had Pyramid. Pyramid always feels super strong. But just took 111 damage to the heart after 8 turns. It was just too slow, right? Too slow to kill the heart. If you had 8 turns, you had all the time you needed. You just didn't get it done. Looks like there's just no damage scaling. We had to, like, insert or consume, I guess, but that's too slow against the heart. Looks like we were doing Dark Orb stuff. Bias cog. Yeah, it's true. Defect can definitely... like, the Act 3 boss fights just, like, usually don't kill Defect. Like, Frost Orbs just, like, trivialize Time Eater. and sometimes they trivialize Awaken 1 too. I guess Awaken 1 or Donudeka can kill Defect, but feels like the heart is often the run-ender. Yeah. This just looks like a really bad deck. I don't know exactly what the problem was here, but it's just like... There's like auto shields and... like 4 defense and stuff. Just like... It's just not like... I'm not jumping out of my shoes at anything here. Yeah, this definitely seems like a deck that just like had Runic Pyramid and managed to line up Genetic Algorithm on the perfect turn every fight until the heart and then died. I bet this Genetic Algorithm was like blocked for like 100. I bet we got it early. No, maybe not. Wow, we had an upgraded Consume in Act 1. We didn't get the Inserter until the Act 2 boss fight, looks like. Huh. What were we doing with that Consume? Whatever we were doing, it got us through Act 2 pretty healthy. No problem with Act 2 hallways. Oh wait, wow. This Book of Stabbing took a lot of health, but I guess that's Book of Stabbing. I mean, we died on turn 8 to the heart, so we might have actually died to the first multi-attack that got through Tori. It's just like a pyramid deck with a bunch of basics in it is going to have some drop problems, right? This is the classic apparition deck with no apparitions, right? It's got a genetic algorithm and a reinforced body, but like, that's not really enough. Interesting. Okay. Hexaghost got us. We tried to do reprogram again. I'm noticing a pattern where we we try to do reprogram and die to the Act 1 boss. Yeah, it's indeed. We didn't have much orb recreation or much focus. We did have Amplify Bias Cog, so that was probably like the plan. But I didn't see any way to get rid of debuffs, so we might not have been able to do that against the heart. Or maybe we like did it, but then the focus wore off or something. There's a Seek Plus in the deck. Man. Yeah, it's not hard for me to imagine losing this one to the Hexaghost, right? Because we had, like, Bag of Marbles and Core Surge, so we had, like, some really powerful consumable damage stuff, so it's easy to, like, convince yourself that you have enough damage and then not actually have enough damage. I'm not prepared to make that inference, Tets. I think, yeah, I think you're reading more into this data than exists. No, don't think like that. That's you're gonna trick yourself. Be a lot more careful what information you allow to get into your brain, because like, yeah, sure, we pick reprogram and we lose, right? But we also lost like 8 out of 10 here, or like, you know. But we've lost most of them. I don't think that's really the correlation you should be drawing. Like I think you could probably say the same thing about Consume, right? I think every run so far where we pick Consume, we died. Is Consume a bait card? Definitely not. I think Doom and Gloom has only been in losses so far. You're just seeing that reprogram is a bait card because you want to see that reprogram is a bait card. You're looking for ways for reprogram to kill us, and maybe it did, but you need to think really carefully about it. So we died to Hexaghost. Presumably that means we didn't have enough damage, right? Yeah, 8 turns, so he killed us on the 6x6 turn. Pretty weak relics of Memori, not going to do much in the Hexaghost fight. Bag of Marbles wears off on turn 1, so does Lantern. You'd think Rebound, Doom, and Gloom would be enough. Although, like, Rebound, Doom, and Gloom... I guess Rebound Reprogram was the plan. Yeah, I don't know. Reprogram's just too slow against Hexaghost. That's not going to work. Okay. Triple Birds, another Act 2 hallway fight. I'm definitely noticing a pattern there. These Act 2 hallways are killing us with great regularity. Tying with a recently acquired lizard tail. I wonder where did we pick up that lizard tail and where did we lose it? This was the war paint, so it must have been here. Oh, I guess it was here. Okay, Dead Adventurer. That's nice. Free lizard tail. We only took 14 damage to sentries, so that wasn't it. We only took 0 damage to boss, so we literally died lizard tail and died in the Act 2 hallway fights. 51 health. Oh my god, what happened at this bird fight? We went from 51, so that's fine. So we walked into this bird fight with 51 health and a lizard tail and died? No way. It says they only did 48 damage. Oh, we conceded. Okay, something weird happened here. What happened here? Because we conceded with an active lizard tail. Oh, I think I remember this one. Yeah, the first time we did it, we took the wrong route through the bird fight, and they did kill us through the lizard tail. And then I restarted the fight, and we found the route through, but then we conceded, because we died in the real attempt. That is just godly unlucky. I cannot believe that happened. That was the awful one that had orbs on the bottom and barrage on top. Is that what happened? I do see 2 barrages. That feels right. No starting orb. Capacitor inserter. Looks like we really wanted to consume. Yeah, definitely not enough orbs, right? We had a bullseye, but then like, oh, that's right. We got a rainbow off the astrolabe pick. I remember this run. This run was like rainbow, barrage, and like hologram off the astrolabe. No, cool head. This is a weird one. Having an Act 1 rainbow is so strange. When was the reprogram pick? Yeah, this one does look suspicious. Good point. Because we got an astrolabe rainbow. You have to imagine that you're not going to do reprogram there. Maybe we transformed into it. Wait, where did we get it? Oh, yeah, it was a transform. Designer Inspire transformed us into it. Right before we died. Rip and Tear's fine. I mean, reprogram's bad, obviously. But, like, you know, strikes are bad, too. Yeah, reprogram is a terrible low roll for this deck. This deck is, like, insert or consume barrage stuff, right? This one looks sweet. Well, I wish I could play this one again. Kunai. Inserter. We had Runic Capacitor, too. This one had so many orb slots. Oh my god. Runic Capacitor, Inserter, Capacitor. Jesus. That's getting to 10 orb slots on, like, turn 3. This is a heartbreaker. I can't believe that happened. We died 2 birds from 50 health and lost a lizard tail. Unbelievable. Two barrages you would think would be super good against birds. Alright. I'm gonna write it down. Died to an Act 2 hallway fight yet again. This one died on floor 7 to our first elite. Wow, what the hell happened with this pathing? Why did we take Slaver Scholar and then 5 hallway fights? We were like almost dead by the time we got to the elite. What in the world? What made me think I could do that? First 3 hallway fights, not a big problem. I guess we took 15 damage to small slimes, not great. But then like Gang of Gremlins and Looter. Gang of Gremlins really is the one that killed us here. Took 30 damage on floor 4. I'll give the credit to sentries though. We had like 30 health when we walked in. We took a recycle? That's weird. We have 3 rebounds? What in the world was this run? Rebounds are super good against sentries too. This was had a weird plan. I don't know what this was all about. Why did I take a recycle here? Surely this is supposed to be a leap, if anything. Leap or skip. Why would I pick recycle? Nothing about like Slaver's Color says like you have to do an infinite here. Recycle. Why? I wonder who the boss was. It's a good card. I guess I was willing to take a recycle curse, but like taking a curse when you know you're fighting 5 enemies seems insane, right? It must have been Slime Boss, right? There's no way I'm taking a recycle against like Hexaghost. Maybe it was Guardian. I could believe recycle against Guardian. I guess I had a rebound. Rebound recycle is kind of a thing. Picked 2 more rebounds in a row. Oh, I skipped a defrag to grab that rebound. Huh. But the context on summaries, yeah, it's true. Keeping track of pots is really difficult because you can technically look at the obtained lines and kind of keep track of what pots you had, but it doesn't tell you when you spent them, and yeah, it's really difficult to track. It should just like say up by your health and gold like what pots you had, but you know. There probably is a mod for that. That's a good point. Although, actually, there might not be enough information in the replay file, or in the save file to reconstruct it. Because yeah. It doesn't, at least it doesn't say when you spent it. I don't know if there is a mod for that. Streamline seems great with 3 rebounds. But at this point, we're at 6 health, so kind of already dead. Kind of an interesting one. It's our first death to a non-Gremlin Nob Act 1 elite. Black Star swap. I bet we felt forced into going for this elite because we had Black Star. I always like do that where I take Black Star and then like super overcommit. Wow, Busted Crown. I wonder what the other options were here. Busted Crown's a weird pickup. Did we really think this deck was beating the heart? Capacitor consume, data disk, doing a lot of focus. But like weirdly only 2 orbs with Ball Light and Cold Snap. There's Writhe in the deck when we died. Shouldn't have enough damage to fight Act 2 elites. Why did we take a curse and then go to a shop and then not get rid of the curse? I guess Bag of Prep is pretty good. Yeah, the Busted Crown seems like by far the weirdest pick here. I mean, it paid off, right? Because we only lost 2 card rewards before we died, so maybe we were correctly evaluating that we were like behind the curve and needed something that was strong right now. I guess, yeah, it's hard to argue with that. Tiny House and Ecto, yeah, you might be right. Yeah, so because we panic-picked Busted Crown, we kind of lost this fight in Act 1. How did we lose this run in Act 1? Like, why were we in a position where we needed to panic-pick Busted Crown here? Looks like wow, that Hexaghost fight, we walked in with 9 health, 9 health and took 8 damage. Whew, 9 turns, huh? Wow. This deck blocked really strong. What happened? Wait, that's not what I'm reading. I guess... Yeah, there's only 1 Cold Snap. How in the world did we block out Hexaghost for 9 turns? Oh, we had 9 turns at the end of the fight. We had 17 health. Yeah, I guess Orichalcum, Frost Orbs, and Focus is pretty strong. So many Act 1 relics. Certainly doesn't feel like we died in Act 1. Fought Gremlin Knob twice. Man, Gremlin Knob did a total of like 53 damage to us in Act 1 through 2 fights. That's savage. That's unbelievable. We rested 3 times in Act 1. Yeah, two Gremlin Knobs and then Book of Stabbing killed us. I feel like Book of Stabbing is the like, the Act 2 Gremlin Knob, right? He's the like, I'm just gonna punch you until you die. Elite. I think we spent a while on the Crown one, and it was like, it was Ecto for sure. Huh. Oh, you mean the pick? Yeah, I imagine we did. Yeah, it sounds like Ecto would probably be the answer, right? It's weird to just, like, to have Blackstar Busted Crown, because then it's like, you just have to win the game with your Relic Bar, right? And, like, Blackstar can make you win the game with Relics, but, like, Busted Crown just cuts you out of so much of your meta-scaling. Seems like it's tough to win. Although, again, the Busted Crown, it's not the Busted Crown's fault that we died, right? There's no way these 2 card rewards were going to save us from Book of Stabbing. Alright. First Act 2 death, not to a hallway fight. This one was a win. Snecko Eye and Pandora's Box. Sort of bold to pick a Pandora's Box when you have Snecko Eye, but... Picked Frozen Eye. Wow, Frozen Eye run under 5 hours is an oddity. I guess we picked up the Frozen Eye right at the end. Usually Frozen Eye makes me sit there for a while and think about stuff. Yeah, I imagine there's a Meteor Strike, there's a Snecko Eye, yeah. Consume Capacitor. So we had some focus stuff. We had 4 compile drivers. There's an Apparition deck, 2 of them upgraded. Had a Bias Cog. Was there an Echo Form? There was an Echo Form. I remember, like, I think I remember this run. I think I remember Echo Forming Buffer Plus a bunch. Yeah, Meteor Strike is definitely getting in there for some wins. I mean, I think the Meteor Strike wins are all also Snecko Eye runs, so... yeah, the Recursion Plus is a little bit curious. I mean, we did have we did have Meteor Strike, so it, like, usually paid for itself, even if it... I guess, if it costed 1 or 0, it was energy positive, is the way I'm thinking about that. 50% chance of energy positive, but, like, that's not super good. Yeah, it would be better if it was unupgraded, right? Because then you could Forge Pot it, but... I wonder how much we activated Artivore. Oh, it looks like a ton. So we activated Artivore like half the turns in the game. It's pretty good. Sundial, like, never procced. I guess once a combat is not never. We had Meteor Strike Strike Dummy. Early Pantograph looks like it helped a lot. 81 health. That's a lot of lifting for a Pantograph. How much did it heal for here? Yeah, so we went to that Hexaghost with 25 more health. Yep, healed for... Oh, it didn't actually heal for 25 here. We didn't have enough room from the apparitions, so it only healed for like 7. And then here we were at 4. Yeah, I guess just like Apparition Pantograph is super strong, huh? Because you just go to full health at the end of boss fights. It looks like we would have died to Time Eater if we hadn't had the Pantograph. Oh wow, we had a ton of money at the end. Bought two relics. Frozen Eye Centennial Puzzle is a crazy Act 4 shop. Yeah. Yeah, the Pantograph or, like, Meat on the Bone heals you for such a tremendous portion of your max HP when you have apparitions. 2 Glaciers is nice. Man, so much drawing this, like a skim and 4 compile drivers. Jeez. This one thing was cycling around. Another win. This was 2 in a row out of a tiny house swap. Picked up a pellets and no Bioscog. I was expecting to see a Bioscog. Kind of a short relic bar too. Didn't like. I guess it's the same length as this one. Yeah, choker. Ice cream. Ice cream is probably doing some stuff, right? Oh, this is another apparition run. I guess creative AI? Yeah, creative AI pellets is pretty strong. Because you're able to consistently... I guess this was a storm deck, huh? Storm, creative AI. Echo form. Yeah, we just played a bunch of powers, didn't we? 2 Tempests. 2 Tempests and a Ice Cream. Huh. So there's, like, no focus. We just, like, channeled a ton of lightning orbs. I guess we got focus from creative AI. Weird. Hey, 60. Peace Pipe definitely did a bunch of lifting here. Yeah, cards toked 9. That is an unbelievable Peace Pipe. Can you imagine if you were able to lift with Gira 9 times? Jeez. Yeah, no wonder, right? There's no strikes or defense in this deck. Holy moly. Imagine not having a Smiley Gira mod. I don't have that mod installed, but I probably should. Looks like this pocket watch was proccing approximately half the time. Seems like a pretty good pocket watch. Yeah, I mean, pocket watch choker is always good, right? This deck was like a... I guess we probably wouldn't have wanted like a recycle and a heat sinks, but like a small deck makes me think about the sundial. I guess we had a choker though. Yeah, it seems like we just shoveled a bunch of energy into a Tempest, won the game. I guess we did have a data disk. That was our only like built-in focus though. Looks like a pretty strong run. I wonder what the most dangerous part was. Oh wow, we were down to like 6 here. We almost died to Giant Head. Oh wow, we perfected both both Act 3 boss fights. Dang. And we needed to. We were at 6 the whole time. Can you imagine being at 6 and removing a Zap? That's commitment. Whew. Yikes. That must have been scary. Yeah, Bullseye's really strong, right? Because, like 4 focus sounds great. Like, 4 focus is a Bioscog, but if you think about, like, if you have Bullseye on a target and you evoke an orb, you basically have 4 focus, right? If you have 0 real focus, right? You get 4 extra damage, and that's a ton. So Bullseye is like Bioscog at home. And Bioscog is like pretty good. Wait, +2, not +4. But it goes from 8 to 12, doesn't it? Yeah, on evoke, yeah. Because this deck cared about evoking. I guess you're right for proccing, whatever. But yeah, for evoke it's +4. Abandon run on floor 39. Why did we abandon the run? What happened here? Does anybody remember what happened here? Oh, we died to Sphere when we played it for real, I think. I think we, for real, died to Sphere, and then we were like, well, let's see what's in that shop. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Alright, so I'm gonna write that down. It's our first Act 3 death. So if Bullseye is +4 focus, Thunderstrike is +7. Yeah, that's an interesting way to think about it. Yeah, sure. +7 focus. And you get to repeat it, right? It's +7 focus on an attack card. Yeah, I can definitely identify with being frustrated after losing here. This looks like a really strong deck. Like a lot of upgrades. Double energy? I don't usually see that in my decks. I'm not a big double energy picker. What we got here? Another Astrolabe into Barrage. Huh. Sort of a weird Astrolabe. I wish it told you what cards you put in. I don't know why it doesn't. Oh, it does. Yeah. I guess against Slime Boss, it was probably like 2 strikes and a defend or something. We have 1 strike and 3 defense left at the end. I'm sure we could work it out if we wanted to. Yeah, maybe we didn't have enough energy. Maybe, yeah. I guess maybe we panic picked this double energy at the end here, because it looks like we picked it and then immediately died, pretty much. So we like got offered a barrage by Astrolabe, and then we removed a barrage later. So we picked up another barrage to try and do that, but then we realized we couldn't or something. Were we trying to do like recycle Sundial stuff? I'm not seeing any card draw though. I don't think we could really pull that off. It does look like we were trying to though. Turbo, double energy. There's a Seek Plus in the deck. I think we were mostly just hyper beaming people to death. And then we ran into Act 3 and realized hyper beam doesn't solve all of our problems anymore. Yeah, almost all these cards exhaust, right? We had like Seek exhausts, Chill exhausts, Boot Sequence exhausts, Double Energy exhausts, Genetic Algorithm exhausts, Recycle exhausts other things. Hologram wasn't upgraded, so that exhausts. So yeah, I think we were trying to get Sundial online and just didn't get it to happen. That's my read here. And then we like picked a creative ad to have another option. Yeah, we like panic picked a creative ad because the deck wasn't working. Why didn't we pick the all for one here? We had a Streamline Plus and like a Turbo. Recycle Plus. That's curious. Wonder what I was thinking. I mean, yeah, I guess I wanted to add another dimension because the deck wasn't working. We skipped a second Hyper Beam here. Oh, this Genetic Algorithm was late, actually. This is a floor 25 Genetic Algorithm. I assumed this was huge, but it was late. Probably wasn't big by then. Yeah, I remember thinking about this one where, like, if we'd gotten to the store, I think we would have gotten a win. But we just got too ambitious and killed ourselves. Okay, Bronze Automaton, a.k.a. Hyper Beam Guy, a.k.a. Big Robot. Looks like a Shuriken deck. With 2 reprograms. And apparitions. Scrape. 2 compile drivers. A hologram plus. Rebound, so a lot of recursion-y stuff. We had a Zap plus. I guess to go with the... We'd Zap and Dual Cast upgraded. So that Scrape had several targets. When did Zap get upgraded? Great question. I don't know. At none of the fires. We must have hit like a Shining Light or something. No, we ignored Shining Light. Well, maybe I'll just never know. How did it get upgraded? I looked at everything. That's strange. It's compile driver, dual cast. Oh, there we go. It's floor 12. What's your win rate? Yeah, I don't know yet. I haven't counted all the wins yet. We just counted. We're just going through and like remembering each of the runs currently. We'll have the win rate at the end because I know how many total runs and I'm counting the losses. Speaking of which, this is a loss to Bronze Automaton. Huh. Yeah, I guess Apparitions versus Bronze Automaton is such a dice roll, right? You either roll it on the Hyper Beam turn or you don't. I guess we just didn't here. Yeah, it's true. The double reprogram. I mean, I imagine the reprograms just win that fight, right? But it's weird. It looks like we didn't know that we were doing both at the same time because we like took the Zap and then immediately upgraded a reprogram. Yeah, what the hell? We upgraded to Zap. Next floor, we took a reprogram, and then we immediately upgraded the reprogram. We were like, all right, hard left here. Let's turn this boat around. I think I like the Shuriken Scrape plan better than I like the reprogram plan. I'm not sure what the reprograms were doing in here. Although I do like reprograms. Maybe we actually didn't die to the Hyper Beam. Because it says we only took 36. Because how much damage does Hyper Beam do? It's like at least 50, right? I don't think we can block for the difference there. Maybe we can. I guess we had a Chinek algorithm, so I have no idea how much we could block for. 2 reprograms, who knows? Was it a good bell? T-set, Horncleat, Turnip. I would say that's a pretty bad bell. It's not, I mean, it's not terrible. Horncleat's pretty good, but Turnip is not really an all-star on Defect. Although I guess this was a dex scaling Defect, so maybe Turnip matters. T-set's not great. I wonder what we picked out of the Orrery. I feel like this should show with relic stats. I don't know why this doesn't know what it did. What we picked out of it? I guess we can find it. We got an Orrery. Does it only say one of the card awards? That's confusing. It says we picked a charge battery and skipped 2 other cards, but shouldn't there have been 5 card awards? Am I wrong about what Orrery works? Yeah, no, it's 5 card awards. So did we take Orrery and only get 1 card? That seems bad. Yeah, it seems like we must have skipped all the cards. It says we purchased FTL, but maybe you're right. Maybe it's wrong. Maybe it's misinterpreting that. FTL seems great with the Shuriken, and it like pays off the strength from reprogram too. It seems like a strong idea, right? Compile driver, draw a bunch of cards, get Shuriken procs, rebound your reprograms. Not sure what went wrong here. Died to the heart again. Not the first heart death and not the last. Does it only tell you how long the run is if you win? Because I don't see how long this one was. I wonder how big this ritual dagger was. Necronomicon, what was that hitting? Hyper Beam, mainly. Yep, Necronomicon, Hyper Beam, that'll get you to the heart and then die. Wow, we took 118 damage to the heart. Just wasn't able to get there after 8 turns. Another reprogram deck. Yeah, it should show how much damage we did. Yeah. Early Preserved Insect, hunted a bunch of elites. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess only 2 in Act 2. And only 2 in Act 3, so maybe it didn't hunt elites. 2 unupgraded stacks. Oh, I remember this. I remember those stacks getting stuck in hand. I mean, stacks are really good with Pyramid, but... Yeah, I remember like just trying to pick a big deck and get Stack and Pyramid to work. Yeah. But picking a big deck also means that you like don't draw your reprogram very much. Chaos, ew. Did we pick the Chaos early or something? Wow, first card pick was a Scrape. Scrape over Rip and Tear on floor 1. That's kind of crazy. Why would I do that? All I had was Preserved Insect at the time. Huh. Why not Rip and Tear there? I mean, Scrape is better in Act 4. Maybe I thought I was just really strong already for... Man, people are so down on Reprogram. What is the deal? We die a bunch. We pick Reprogram. When we pick Reprogram, we die. It's not like Reprogram is causing us to die. I mean, Reprogram is too slow against the heart, right? So I'm gonna... Like, Reprogram decks tend to be about the Reprogram, so I'm gonna mention it when we die with the Reprogram deck. But it's not Reprogram's fault. Like, we died with Chaos, too, you know? Every deck that picked Chaos has died. Targaryen, I disagree with you completely. I don't think your opinion is supportable. No, there's not a correlation there. Oh my god. Twitch chat, get a hold of yourself. If you go looking for correlations and everything, you're going to find a lot of bad information. I mean, I think all of our Auto Shield stacks have died too. Is Auto Shield's a bad card? Maybe. I don't know. You don't hear Twitch chat talking about it because they don't hate it like Reprogram. Hey, Medusa. I still have Med USA in my head, but what's up, Medusa? How's it going? People are picking on me about Reprogram. That's what's going on. Thanks for the sub, DMoss18. Alright, thanks for baking for 8 months. Another Heart Death. And a bunch of those. Another Reprogram deck. Although this one just had... What was this deck's plan? We had Defrag and a Reprogram. 2 Echo Forms, I think, was the plan. Whatever we were doing, we're doing it twice. Oh, there's a Pandora's box. I see, the Reprogram was from Pandora's. We didn't pick this one. Oh wait, this Pandora's gave us 2 Reprograms? And then we ended up with 1 in the deck, so we removed 1. Alright, next person who says there's a correlation with dying in Reprogram is getting timed out. Not gonna hear it anymore. Let's see. So Okay, so this is like a focus deck with a Thunderstrike plus. That's special. What was going on there? We actually had a Snecko Eye, huh? Yeah, this time Pandora's just hated us, right? all the losses are Defect decks. I'm seeing a correlation. Wow, we only lasted 5 turns against the heart. We walked in with full health and died in 5 turns. So we died to the second heart cycle, and like not even like midway through the at the end of the second heart cycle, we died to the first, like the third heart attack, and he did 88 damage to us. How did that happen? What went wrong here? What in the world? Like, how does a deck get to the heart with full health and then just die immediately? I am so confused by this. Jeez. Awaken one hit us for 43. What happened? I guess like Mummified Hand, Creative AI, Echo Form was the plan, and then it just like didn't work out against the heart. Yeah, looks really short on orbs. I guess just the 2 cold snaps was it. Like 2 capacitors, 2 cold snaps is like kind of an insane ratio there. Huh. I wonder what potions we had at the end. We didn't buy a potion. We picked up a speed pot, so we weren't full on potions, at least after this Act 4 elites. This is such a mystery. Like, how did this happen? Man, Heatsinks Plus must have been singing here. Heatsinks Plus, and like Creative AI, and like Storm Plus. This looks like a fun one, and then Thunderstrike to finish it off. The Force Field? Yeah, I wonder why we didn't pick the Force Field. It seems like obviously good, right? And then we died to the heart after 5 turns, so clearly we needed the block. Huh. Wonder why. I'm a hindsight streamer. Yeah, it seems like the only way we could have lost this is bottom decking the powers, right? Or at least lost it that quickly. That's kind of outrageous. But we had a Seek Plus, too. Like, did we really bottom deck Seek Plus, Echo Form, and Creative AI? Like, bottom decking 4 cards is, like, kind of difficult to do. I guess there's not very much draw. If you don't, like... I don't know. I guess Heatsinks, we must have bottom decked that, too. Because, like, if we got Heatsinks, we had a ton of draw. We had, like, Buffer, and, like, Electrodynamics, and, like, Self-Repair. There's tons of draw here. I'm so curious. Yeah, that's true. We could have just drawn a bunch of heart statuses. But we survived 5 turns. It's not like we died on turn 2, you know? What a weird one. Gang of Slimes in Act 1. Got us. No elites. We didn't fight any elites in this run. Swapped into Choker, tied with Reprogram again. We picked Reprogram on floor 1. Sure. Yeah, it seems like this should probably have been a cold snap. This is a weird weird reprogram. I don't know why this happened. I mean, I'll admit that so okay, like, oh, thanks, Lazy Pal. Appreciate the subscription. 5 months, impressive. One more month and you get your new hat. I was looking at the hat and I said, that hat says 3, but then the message says 5. What's the deal, Twitch? Why can't I have more hats? Oof, Matryoshka Tiny Chest is pretty upsetting. Those are not good relics there. Huh, we were sort of limping here at 1 health for quite a while. So, like, the slimes say they killed us, but, like, how did we actually die? We took 21 to Shining Light. Wow. What in the world? We took 18 damage to Scrap Ooze. We just, like, evented ourselves to death. Scrap Ooze and Shining Light combining to do, like, 39 damage here. I wonder if this was, like, a path with no elites or something. Too many reverse effect. I mean, okay, so just to address the elephant in the room, the people who are saying there's a correlation with reprogram and dying, I think are probably making the following observation. I like reprogram a lot more than other people in the community, right? Like somebody mentioned that Baylor hates reprogram. A lot of people in chat don't like reprogram. I think reprogram's great. So because of that difference, right, there's really a spotlight on reprogram whenever I pick it. And I pick it a lot because I like it. And I don't win all that often, right? Like, I win, like, I don't know. We haven't figured that out yet, but, like, 30% of runs, right? I'm not, like, you know, like, one of the best players in the world, right? I'm not, like, a life coach winning, whatever, 60% of his runs or something. So there are going to be runs where we pick reprogram and die, but there's also runs where we pick reprogram and, like, get to the heart or win, right? Like, yeah, so... Do I overpick reprogram? I would say probably. I do like the card a lot. I probably like it too much. But I think that's why people are seeing the correlation. It's because they're seeing something unusual and also losses, and they're putting the two together. But I do the unusual thing even when I win, right? So, what's the split of Defect winning runs that use focus and those that don't? I would say it leans heavily towards focus decks. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I'm not prepared to make that analysis. It's possible that's true. I definitely think that Defect is stronger when using focus, right? But sometimes that's not really how the game works, right? You don't get to pick at the beginning that you don't get to know that you're gonna see like 3 defrags in a Bioscog, right? And sometimes it's not there. I've definitely had focus on the flip side. I've had focus runs where you like, you know, you pick your capacitor and you get your glacier and then you like never see a single focus card and then you die, right? It's like, well, yeah, all the focus cards are uncommon or rare. So sometimes you don't see them. It's kind of like if you do a Watcher run and you like super build around Talk to the Hand and never see Talk to the Hand, you're like, well, was that a mistake or like was that what I had to do to try to win? It's hard to say. But see, you can't say Defrag is a good card without saying Reprogram is a good card, right? Like, Defrag and Reprogram are basically the same card. They're just, like, opposite sides of the same coin, right? Defrag gives you 1 or 2 stats towards a certain, you know, trajectory, right? It gives you 2 focus, and Reprogram gives you 1 or 2 of the, like, physical stats, right? They do the same thing. Reprogram's even, like, almost strictly better than Defrag, because you can repeat it. So Reprogram's like a 1-card scaling solution, which Defrag is not. Obviously, like, Reprogram has a downside, which Defrag doesn't, but... If you compare them apples to apples, just for those cards, not with the associated mechanics or other Defect cards, then They're pretty similar. So this was a loss to... I'm gonna put this death down to Act 1 events. Because we literally took like 40 damage to Act 1 events. I don't know why I did this to myself. Like, this is such a confusing run to look back at. It's just like a bunch of obvious mistakes in a row, and then a death in Act 1. Like, we should have picked the Cold Snap here. I don't know why we upgraded the reprogram instead of resting at 22. Maybe there was just no elites to fight. I don't know. This is one that's really curious. We could have rested here and saved ourselves. We could have just skipped Shining Light instead of suiciding. I really don't understand what happened here. Obviously, the Matryoshka Tiny Chest is not great. But we didn't even have the Matryoshka or Tiny Chest when we took the events, right? We got the Matryoshka Tiny Chest after that. Just putting ourselves in this position where we have to perfect every fight is sort of ludicrous. So this is a death to Act 1 events. Another Act 1 death, this time to Gremlin Knob. This time we did pick the Cold Snap. And a defrag. Wow, look at us. Doing focus. Gosh, if that isn't a... If this isn't a... if this doesn't make you crusade against Gremlin Knob, I don't know what will. It's like we picked every attack, right? Removed to defend even. And then Gremlin Knob still just cratered us. 52 damage on floor 6. Oof. Yeah, look at this correlation. Picked a defrag, died to Gremlin Knob. I'm seeing a correlation here. Yeah, this one's brutal. Can we just not fight floor 6 elites as silent? Or as defect? Like what were we supposed to do here? Yeah, Sozu is going to be difficult, that's fair. You see no attacks in a deck to fight Gremlin Knob? Are you crazy? We took all attacks. We took Cold Snap, we took Sweeping Beam, we took Melter. We only had 3 card rewards. We took attacks in every single one of them. What are you talking about? Yeah, I guess Sozu into Act 1 Elite Death makes a lot of sense, right? Because potions are so strong against Act 1 Elites. What potion did we miss? Does it say? It doesn't say. But it says it blocked one. Okay, put one on the board for Gremlin Knob. Oops, I put the same number back on the board. That's not how boards work. Okay. Next up is Snake Plant Death. Let's see. 2 defrags in this loss. I don't know about that. Upgrading defrags. I love the defrag versus reprogram rivalry that we're cultivating. This makes me very happy. We kept a cracked core this time, so we must have meowed for this turnip. Yeah, it looks like. Oh no, we got the turnip from Wheel of Change. So what did Meow do? Oh, it must have been money, so that we went to this merchant. Yeah, we had 219 gold at the start. We usually have 99, so. Oh. Huh, wait, how did we lose 55 health to Book of Stabbing? We were at 23. It says we took 55 damage. I don't see a Lizard Tail. We must have had a fairy in a bottle. So we lost a fairy to Book of Stabbing. What if we bought the fairy? Nope, I'm not seeing us buying it. We must have picked it up. Yep, there it is. How did this deck die in Act 1? Oh, how did it die in Act 2? Yeah, I don't know. We had Focus and Equilibrium. And Electro. I mean, those don't really matter against Book of Stabbing. It seems like Book of Stabbing is what killed us. It's easy to think that Act 2 elites are all about AoE, but Book of Stabbing really isn't. Yeah, I'm still confused by that one. I don't want to scroll back because I'm going to lose my place, but yeah, full health, tied on turn 5. Yeah, not enough front-loaded block is like the formula for dying to Act 2, right? It's like that's how Shelled Parasite hits you for 30. He only hit us for 11 here. Oh, hold up. We took 35 damage to Snake Plant. I guess we rested after that, so we didn't like die, but was rough. Dang, we fought Avocado, Snake Plant, and then Avocado again. Avocado Fuggy Beast. Yikes. That's a really tough set of Act 2 hallway fights. I'm tempted to put this one down to Act 2 hallway fights again. Like, we technically died to Book of Stabbing. Well, I mean, technically we died to Snake Plant again. We died to second Snake Plant. Man, Act 2 is rough. Gosh. This was a claw deck, apparently. Defrags and claws. So we were trying to, like, block with the defrags and scale with the claws. I kind of like it. Claws, Shuriken, Rip and Tear. Beam Cell. Not enough Frost Orbs, obviously. Could have really used a Glacier. Yeah, I guess that was probably the problem, right? Is like Equilibrium is not enough of a block plan against Book of Stabbing. So do I say this was a death to Act 2 hallway fights, or do I say it's a death to Book of Stabbing? Book of Stabbing hit for 55, but like, so did, you know, Avocado and Snake Plant over time. Yeah, Snake Plant hit for 35 in one fight. I'm gonna put it in Act 2 hallway fight, because we've died 4 times to Act 2 hallway fights, so putting it there helps me draw conclusions later. It's a Crown Swap. Died to Hexaghost. Upgraded Deep Breath. That's a mood. Why? What in the world was that all about? Can somebody help me remember this? What in the world were we doing with a Deep Breath Plus in Act 1? Infinite with Hologram? I mean, we didn't have, like, Sun... Like, sorry, what was it called? Gosh. Yeah, Sundial. We didn't have Sundial. I guess you don't need Sundial for that, huh? But, like, wait, can you do a hologram Deep Breath cycle? I guess if your deck is small enough, yeah. Yeah, I guess we were sniffing for an infinite. I do like infinites on Busted Crown, right? Because Busted Crown makes it so that you can't pick cards, basically, and then your deck ends up being small. And small decks can do infinites. Looks like we way overcommitted to it for Act 1, though. A recycle and a Deep Breath. Dying to Hexaghost is no surprise there. Fission, even. Yeah. Boy, Busted Crown is tough. Yeah, I don't think we need to eulogize this one too much. It was Busted Crown swap, and we didn't get anything super good, so we died to Hexaghost. It's our second Hexaghost death, but really it's a death to Busted Crown. This one's a win. What do we do here? I see an all for one. Looks like we weren't really using that, though. Oh, wait, there's 3 holograms. Oh, this is a Snecko Eye Infinite. Oh, okay. Yeah, all for one, Snecko Infinite. Is there a Defect boss relic sampling series? I mean, I basically boss relic swapped like almost every time this month, so you could consider this to be a boss swap sample if you wanted to. So we swapped into Calling Bell and got a old coin. It's kind of fun. I think one of the things that I've changed about my play while I've been streaming, and I guess I've probably been streaming for like most of my Slay the Spire experience at this point, is I go to way less shops now. I only go to like 3 shops per run, max. I used to go to more shops, but it's kind of a waste of a floor. So I guess the plan was like heat sinks, draw a bunch of cards, hologram all for one. This was only a couple days ago, I remember this one. Okay. Yeah, looks like we kind of cruised. We didn't really lose that much health. Then we died to Time Eater. It's only our second Act 3 death. Or Time Lord is my name for him. Let's see, what happened here? This one was also recently. Oh, this was the one where we like had a bunch of cards but no plan. Is that this one? Yeah, we like had a bias cog, but we couldn't do focus stuff because we couldn't remove the debuff. We didn't get defrags. So pyramid run. Right, yeah, we didn't find like a creative eye or a thunderstrike or just anything to like pull out of the dive. We ended up doing most of our damage with Tempest, which felt really bad. This was like a really, really sort of tactical run. I kind of enjoyed piloting it, but it was really sad towards the second half of Act 3. We just like didn't find what we needed. That's on the board. And then we died to Time Eater again. Died to Time Eater 2 times in a row to end the month. And this one was obviously a all-for-one Quad Madness deck. Quad Madness Infinite. Really, the Awaken 1 killed us here. We took like 60 damage to Awaken 1, and Time Eater killed us on turn 1. I'm actually going to give the credit to Awaken 1. Okay, so that's all the decks. Let me add those up really quick. So 3 Act 4 deaths, 3 Act 3 deaths, 7 Act 2 deaths, and 8 Act 1 deaths. No, I don't think it was really Dome's fault. We just we had an infinite by the Awaken 1 fight, and we just drew really awkwardly. We actually took a lot of damage to the cultist in the fight. We took like 20 damage to a cultist. We killed Awaken 1, so we got through it. We did actually infinite him too, but it was too late by then. Okay, so 8 plus 7 is 15, plus 6 is 21 deaths. So we ended up winning 5, losing 21. I think that's probably my worst win rate so far. I think Defect is my worst class, and that matches my feelings, right? I feel like I have a lot of trouble winning with Defect. So we'll say 5 out of 26. Okay, and then, so what do we want to change about the way we play Defect? Let's go and look at the wins and see what we were doing right. Although we do have to be really careful, because 5 wins is such a small sample size, and obviously there's survivorship bias with any winning deck, right? Any winning deck, almost by definition, got lucky, right? But let's go see. I think that probably we're just going to say, like, get Snecko Eye and Meteor Strike. Okay, so when we win, we, this one was an all-for-one infinite. I'm gonna write that down as Snecko, because it's really just a Snecko deck. So that's one Snecko win. This one is not Snecko. This one's Peace Pipe for 9, the deck. This is a Storm deck, right? I think we'll call this a Storm. Storm Creative AI. Yeah, it's true. A lot of energy and ice cream is a thing, too. And, like... Wait, I thought there was a Thunderstrike in this deck. Maybe I'm remembering a different one. This is another Snecko Eye deck. Snecko Eye into Meteor Strike. This one is another Snecko Eye. Snecko Eye into Meteor Strike. Okay. So Snecko's 3 out of our 4 wins by this point. There's one more. And this one... What is this one? This one was like a... Oh wait, no, we only took 1 damage to the heart. I thought this was the one where we took like 80 damage and somehow won. Was this an infant? I forgot this one. How did this one work? There's still a Meteor Strike here. What the heck happened here? Calipers? No, the calipers didn't matter. There's 1 Madness. Maybe by 1 damage it means we used the fairy. No, our fairy health is like only like 30 here. What the heck was this? It's just like incense burner carried. We did have a Tempest and a bit of energy. This was an infinite, right? There's a fusion and the heat sinks. We had to do something. Yeah, this was an infinite. Yeah, okay, I remember this now. This was right. This was the Cool Head compiled over infinite. I remember now. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we had 5 wins. 3 of them were Snecko Eye wins. One of them was Storm Creative AI, and one of them was a Cool Head Infinite. Interesting. We can't really... So, okay, so we definitely should boss relic swap every time, because it seems like swapping into Snecko is, like, a big part of how we win. Or at least it's like, if we think that our current strategy is correct, then we should boss swap as much as possible, because that maximizes our chances of getting Snecko. Sorry, this is a silent run. That was from previous month. I think every single win involves or had a Meteor Strike in it. Is that true? This one had a Meteor Strike. Oops. This one had a Meteor Strike. This one had a Meteor Strike. No Meteor Strike in this one. Sorry, which one was this one? This was the Creative AI Storm thing with the 9 times Peace Pipe. And that was the last win, right? Oh, nope. And this one had a Meteor Strike. So yeah, so pick Meteor Strike, I guess. Data speaks against it, though. 5 wins over how many losses? 21 losses. Interesting. You're seeing pretty aggressive pathing in Act 1, and I'm a firm believer in taking a low-risk first act, as I feel Defect can scale so well naturally. Means you have to take less suboptimal picks. That's interesting. Yeah, I do definitely pass pretty aggressively in Act 1. 7 deaths in Act 2. So we died 8 times in Act 1, 7 times in Act 2, and then 3 and 3. I'm actually fairly happy with that distribution. I think we probably died in Act 4 more than we're supposed to. But I do think, like, in general, most of your deaths should be either in Act 1 or Act 2. If you're dying, like, mostly in Act 3, you're being too conservative, right? Because if you can always survive Act 1, right? You can pretty much force yourself to win Act 1. By being, like, super conservative. I mean, you can't be super conservative if you're against, like, Hexaghost. You, like, do have to get a little bit of gas. You can't always conservatively path your way through Act 2 since the hallway fights are so hard. But it's pretty easy to end up in a situation where you're, like, in Act 3 but actually can't win the game because you haven't gotten enough relics. But I think these stats are showing that I'm not generally doing that. So maybe, yeah, I think maybe you're right. Maybe we are being a little bit too aggressive in Act 1. We did die to Gremlin Knob 3 times, which is pretty bad. It seems like we should probably avoid... okay, so let's start talking about takeaways. Number 1 takeaway for me is avoid floor 6 leads. Because sometimes you just lose them, right? There was one run in particular where we, like, picked 3 attacks and died on floor 6 to Gremlin Knob. Yeah, this is the one. So we picked 3 attacks, still died on floor 6 to Gremlin Knob. And that's just, this is a poster child for, these will reduce your win rate. This is how to make your win rate go down, dying on floor 6 to Gremlin Knob. It is a Sozu swap, so it's not, like, incredible. But I think that's a pretty reasonable takeaway. Silent and Defect should avoid Act 1 elites until after the chest. Man, you're waiting a long time for the Act 1 elite. I think just, like, you want to wait until, like, floor 7 is, like, what I'm taking away from this, right? Because you want, like, a fire before it or something. Right, yeah. I'm with Blem. Shivs are so strong now that you can really just shiv your way through the game. Or, like, whatever, like Predator, Terror, you know, that stuff just works now. Physical Silent is an option. Okay, so that's one takeaway. I made a decision partway through the month. I had a let's see if I can find it. I had a loss where I picked Meteor Strike, thinking maybe I can get it online, and then died with it after, like, never playing it. So let's find a run where we picked Meteor Strike and lost. I think maybe that was wrong. I think I might have overcorrected there. Yeah, so this is a Meteor Strike loss. It looks like we can't ever play it, too. I guess we can play it. We have double energy and, like, Pyramid. But it looks like we kind of, like, twisted ourselves in knots to try and get Meteor Strike castable, and there, like, wasn't a good outcome. So I think I might have learned a little bit too hard there. I think maybe Meteor Strike is just, like, maybe always pickable, and then you just, like, you pick a turbo, and then you get it online. Can I ask what frequency we ended up boss swapping? Yeah, let's find that out. Let's just count them. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We skipped this one. So we did the first 17 in a row. 18, 19, 20. Skipped this one. 21, 22, 23, 24. So we did 24 swaps. So there's only 3 runs where we didn't swap. Or excuse me, 2 runs where we didn't swap. So this one died in Act 2, and this one died to the heart. Yeah, if we're swapping every time, there's a pretty decent chance we're gonna get... Like, I think if 5 energy is possible, you should probably pick Meteor Strike every time. Yeah, so the ones where we skipped it... why did we skip it here? Did we get this Preserved Insect from it? Looks like we did. So we skipped it for a Common Relic here. Oh, I remember this one. I was worried about this pathing, because I was worried about... I wanted to do... I think we were forced into 3 elites here. So I wanted to be strong enough to do 4 hallway fights and 3 elites, so I took a Common Relic. Kind of an interesting one. Snipe should help the early game weakness. What do you mean by snipe? Do you mean like Meow's Lament? Yeah, I didn't pick Meow's Lament at all this month. But I think it's sort of pickable. I don't know. It seems like Defect doesn't really have problems with Act 1 hallway fights, which is like what a lot of Meow's Lament ends up doing. It's just like helping your Act 1 hallway fights. So, okay, other than avoiding floor 6 elites, what else are we learning here? How many of these Act 1 deaths were to... I'm going to say prior to floor 10 elites. So 1... I think we counted this one. Oh no, this one was... We died to events, right? 2... 3... 4... 5... Oops, these are silent. Wait. Was that last one silent? That one was not silent. So we got 4. I went too far. I went way too far. Oh my god. Okay. So it was 4. I prefer Cracked Core over Pure Water. Yeah. Yeah, it is hard to decouple the starting relics from the characters. I feel like Boss Swap is stronger on Defect than it is on Watcher, because Watcher is like already so strong in Act 1. You don't need the you don't need extra energy to fight elites. You can just like Wrath mode them. You're likely to keep it against Hexaghost. It's interesting. Looks like, let's see, when did we keep it? Oh, here's one. So this one we kept it, that one was against Guardian. And this one was also against Guardian, huh. So the 2 times we kept it was against Guardian. Weird. Okay, what other takeaways were we looking for? We had no claw wins. And no, reprogram wins. And no focus wins, basically. All of our wins were weird. Huh. What the heck do we make out of that? We had 1 win that was an infinite. 1 that won with Storm Creative AI. I guess we could kind of call that a focus win. And 3 that just won with Snecko and bullshit. Huh. No, they weren't all featuring Snecko. 3 of them were Snecko. 3 out of 5. So 60% of our wins were Snecko. Did we ever lose with Snecko? Yes, we did. We lost here. No Meteor Strike. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's supposed to be the takeaway. This does have a Thunder Strike. We actually did die to the heart quite a bit. We died to the heart 3 times. Oh, right, this is the bullshit loss. I still don't remember what happened here. This probably should have been a win. Reprogram and defrag, yeah, that's right. Well, the reprograms, unfortunately, were for Commander's box, but, you know. So this one doesn't really count as a Snecko Eye loss, because it was like an 80% win, I'm gonna guess, in retrospect without enough information. We probably win this fight most of the time. So, like, we could make decisions based around 80% losses, but in order to do that, we'd have to play, like, a lot of games. In order to be confident. That Snecko Eye wins. Wait, was that a Snecko Eye? No, that was a Runic Capacitor. That's a win. No Snecko Eye there. Also, it's a win. This is a silent run. Okay. Yeah, so we only lost 1 time with Snecko Eye. Okay, so that's another takeaway. Always pick Snecko. I don't think we were ever skipping Snecko, so I don't know. Pick Meteor Strike when castable. Right. Yeah, I'm not really sure what we want to change. I think the only real change I have, because I was already always picking Snecko and already picking Meteor Strike when playable. I think the only real change is I just avoid floor 6 elites. I'm sure I'm doing more stuff wrong than that, but it's like, there's such a strong signal in the data that we're dying a lot to Act 1 elites. Does your decision-making during Act 20 heart runs make any difference on lower Ascensions? Like, would you build your deck differently because some enemies don't have improved attacks? I think that the answer to that's probably yes. But since so much of my time spent in the game is at Ascension 20, I can't say exactly what the changes would be. I know that Apparitions are pretty much an automatic pick below Ascension 15, because getting 5 of them is completely busted. Getting 3 of them is pretty busted. Getting 5 is outrageous. But other than that, I don't think there's, like, super obvious changes that you should make at lower Ascensions. I think the optimal way to play at Ascension 20 is more or less the optimal way to play at Ascension 1. Maybe you don't need to take as many risks, but I think you just win more at Ascension 1. How do we improve our Act 2 survival rate? Because I feel like I died a lot in Act 2 as well. I guess we died about the right amount in Act 2. I'd like to redistribute some of my Act 2 losses from hallway fights to elite fights. We died 5 times to hallway fights, which feels like too much. Or like Act 2 boss fights. You think Frost is such a big deal in Act 2? I feel like what I'm really missing for Act 2 is front-loaded block. I feel like I just need more, like, what is that card called? Equilibriums and, like, auto shields and stuff. I feel like that's those really big cards for Act 2. Seems like a lot of our Act 2s were carried by Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam specifically helps us a lot in Act 2. Yeah, Glacier, obviously. Yeah, Glacier. Super good. Yeah, I could pick more boot sequences. That's a good point. Boot sequence is like the definition of front-loaded block, right? Alright, so I'm going to say increase front-loaded block picks. And that kind of dovetails with what Blem was saying, right? So if we take more conservative pathing in Act 1, then we're allowed to pick more front-loaded block, right? Because if you're taking an aggressive Act 1 path, you have to pick a lot of attacks in Act 1, and then that sets you up to not have the front-loaded block for Act 2. So that's interesting. How many electrodynamics? Are you trying to, like... Let's figure out our, like, electrodynamics Act 2 win rate. I'm interested in seeing that. So we're going to say deaths. I guess let's just figure out how many electrodynamics runs we had and then do the statistics on those. In Act 2. So we're going to count Act 2 Electro decks. So if it dies in Act 1, it doesn't count. So this had Electro and died in Act 2. So this is a death. This didn't make it to Act 2. This didn't make it to Act 2. This is a win. Had no Electro. This died in Act 1. This died in Act 2. No Electro. No Electro here. There's an Electro. 1 Act 2. Did we have the Electro in Act 2 is the question now. Yeah, we did. Okay, so that's an Electro Act 2 win. This died in Act 1. This didn't have Electro. This died in Act 1. This didn't have Electro. This didn't... Oh, this did have Electro. This had Electro in 1 Act 2. Did we have an Electro in Act 2? It did. Alright, okay, so that's a win. This is no Electro. No Electro there. No Electro. No Electro. This one had it and got through Act 2, but did we have the Electro in Act 2? Yes. This didn't make it to Act 2, neither did that. This died in Act 2 with Electro. Make sure we had it for the beginning of Act 2. I'm not sure what I will do if we got it like late in Act 2. Maybe I just won't count this run. There it is. We had it in Act 2 and we died. This died in Act 1. This doesn't have Electro. This doesn't... Oh, this does have Electro. Did we have it before Act 2? Yes. But it won Act 2. And this doesn't have Electro. So when we have Electro... So when we have Electro by Act 2, we win 4 out of 6 times. Is 4 out of 6 better than our normal Act 2 win rate? I don't know, I have to measure that. Oh wait, no, I can figure that out from... So we died in Act 1 8 times, so our total runs that made it to Act 2 was... 26 minus 8 is 18, and then we died 7 times. So total Act 2 is we won 11 out of 18. And if we subtract the 6 Electro ones, it becomes 7 out of 12. So 7 out of 12 is like only slightly over 50%. But 4 out of 6 is also only slightly over 50%, so I don't think we should, like... I don't know. I guess electrodynamics does not dramatically increase our Act 2 win rate. We know that much. But honestly, I don't think we learn anything super significant. The sample sizes get too small. Do you think hitting shops early can solve your early game weakness? Can we check shop history and get Act 1 shops? That is a great idea. So let's count the runs where we die before ever going to a shop. This run, we went to a shop. There's one. So we got 1. 2. 3. We went to a shop there. Went to a shop in that one. 4. Oop, these are silent runs. Shit. Was that last one defect? Yeah, it was. Okay, so we died 4 times before going to a shop. All of those are Act 1 deaths, obviously. Interesting. So 4 of our 8 Act 1 deaths were we never went to a shop. I'm not like a big fan of going to early shops. Because it's kind of an inefficient way to use a floor. That is some interesting information. Most of the time when we die in Act 1, we also don't go to a store. I'm not sure what to make out of that. I mean, obviously if we die on floor 6, we're not going to a store. So like a couple of those are like, yeah, duh. If we're skipping floor 6 elites, then you know, we're eliminating some of those die before shops already. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna have any takeaways from that. I think that like neither insert or consume nor reprogram scale fast enough to kill the heart. And I'm not sure what to do with that information. Those are like the 2 sort of infinite scaling cards that Defect has access to, right? Yeah, if it's Niao plus gold, then that makes some sense. Although we usually swap, so. The sirens in the background, we actually live close to a police station, so it's like right down the road. They usually don't do sirens. That was actually an ambulance, so I don't know. Do you think they fall into a win more type of category? Like if you have time to actually output that scaling you're already winning? Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, like I think maybe we should just like, other than avoiding floor 6 elites, I think basically any other takeaway from this data set is going to be sort of tainted. Like all of our wins. Practically all of our wins were like Snekoi. So it just feels really weird to like make any inference other than like stop losing as much. So I don't know. Yeah. It's kind of an unsatisfying like month summary, but like I don't think we can really like speak too much about like the kinds of things that win the game, because just like the kinds of things that won the game were like relic luck in all of our cases. I guess like we know that card draw is really powerful, right? All of our wins had lots of card draw. The Coolhead Infinite obviously is centered around card draw. The Storm Creative AI was powered by like a Heat Sinks Plus, and Snecko with card draw had a bunch. So maybe we need to pick more card draw. That one's kind of got a little asterisk. I'm not really sure it's that's correct. Yeah, Skim should probably be picked more. I think we probably skipped Skim more than we should have. Obviously, Seek we're already picking every time we see it. I think you're probably just responding to Blem saying Skim's one of the best cards in the game, but still. Yeah, pick more Skims. Maybe pick more Compile drivers. More conservative Act 1 pathing. Have you picked many aggregates? No. I think I only added one aggregate to the deck the entire month, and it was like a desperation pick, and then we lost like immediately. Yeah, card draw, well, it's tempting to say card draw is always good. I mean, card draw is definitely always good, but like, the cost you pay for it might not always be efficient. Excuse me. Okay. Yeah, Defect is definitely a struggle for me. I think I need to figure something out, but I'm not sure what it is. But you set up really nicely as it's consistent. Not relying on a rare. Yeah, but like the thick decks, like, I don't know, like the thick decks have to be like full of useful cards, and I feel like maybe part of the reason I struggle is like the cards that I'm I've got myself caught in a trap where I'm either like looking for defrags or looking for reprograms, and then it's like and then like I end up finding not enough of either one. It's crazy that like those strategies, which are like what I would think of as the main Defect strategies, didn't get me a single win all month. I didn't get a win with like physical Defect or focus Defect, despite like many attempts at both. Let's just go through the runs one at a time and see if there's any additional takeaways we're supposed to take out of this. So this one died to ectoplasm swap, basically. Let's count how many boss swaps killed us. That's something people asked about a bunch during the month. So I'm going to count this as one. Ectoplasm starts are pretty lethal. It's definitely not Coffee Dripper's fault. Coffee Dripper's great. This is just like we needed to be more conservative in Act 1. So we already know this takeaway. This is a floor 6 elite and more, and we died. This is a busted crown swap. Got to put that one on the board. Tiny House isn't great, but probably didn't kill us. Officially started my IT certification courses yesterday. Nice. Congratulations. So Tiny House isn't super strong, but I'm not gonna give it responsibility for the loss here. I think we had an opportunity to win. We just didn't do it. I am not gonna count this as an ectoplasm loss, because ectoplasm only took away 45 gold. Slaver's Collar seems fine, but I guess doesn't help in hallway fights. I don't know. It wouldn't have helped much if it was cracked core either. But maybe if we had like 200 extra gold and we went to the shop, we would have gotten through Act 2. It's tempting to classify this one as a swap loss. It only paid off in 4 fights. But I mean, we did get to do 3 elites. And we survived the boss, so... No, I'm not going to count that against Slaver's Collar. So the win. This clearly didn't lose to the swap. We did skip the chest here. It seems hard to count this one against Kursky. Seems like it's not Kursky's fault. Wow, Kursky into Omamori Warp Tongues. What a start. The curse synergy. This one's not Kursky's fault. This was kind of a weird astrolabe, but also this run was just very strange, right? We just lost to RNG in the Three Birds fight. This is not Slaver Scholars fight. This is Aggressive Pathing's fight. Maybe it is Slaver Scholars fight, because we fought 5 hallway fights with basically no relic, right? Because it didn't matter in any of these. But I'm not going to count it. Is Black Star's fault we lost here? No, I don't think it is. It's a win. This is also a win. This tiny house swap that won. Doesn't seem like this is Astrolabe's fault. There's a mod called the Hermit. Gains strength and dex based on debuffs you currently have, and is immune to specific curses. Huh. Sounds interesting. This could be a death to Coffee Dripper. Oof. 30 damage to Shelled Parasite on the 2nd floor of Act 2. No healing relics. We had apparitions. We clearly had a chance to win this. We just didn't get it. It's not Coffee Dripper's fault. It's not a swap. We didn't die to the boss swap here. Did we die to a Velvet Choker? Doesn't seem like we did. I don't think we were trying to play 10 cards, so it's not Choker's fault. This one, I think we can count as a Sozu loss, because we should have had a potion. And we died pretty early, although it's also a loss to Aggressive Pathing, but I'm going to put it on the board. Busted Crown didn't get enough cards to beat Hexaghost. That's pretty clear. Lethal swap. Okay. So we ended up with 4 lethal boss swaps out of 26 runs. So almost as many lethal boss swaps as we had wins. Which is interesting. But like one of those, a couple of those are soft, right? Where it's like, it looks like a lethal boss swap, but maybe we would have survived it if we hadn't been so aggressive in Act 1. But on the same coin, right? If you swap into Ectoplasm, I feel like you have to get really far ahead really quickly, or else you're going to lose. Because your metascaling is so damaged by the Ectoplasm normally that like you need to find really crazy relics to win. Or not get robbed. Yeah, I mean, you only have 100 gold to go take to a shop, right? It doesn't really matter that much if you get robbed. Although it is worth going to an early shop if you get a Ectoplasm. That's interesting feedback, that jerk, James. Yeah, he like, power-centric Defect does constitute one of our wins. And I think could have done more of the wins. Ecto has been a great swap result for me, but on Defect I think it's a much poorer result. Interesting. Also, hi Redbeardy. How's it going? Yeah, I mean, Ecto is definitely like... I don't know. Ecto's a thing. It kind of like depends on your relic luck too, right? It's a little bit like Sozu, where if you get Ecto into Old Coin, obviously you're really sad. If you get Ecto into like Courier, that's pretty upsetting. Even if you get Ecto into Meal Ticket, that's pretty upsetting. So definitely can be luck based. I think Ecto is probably fine, but we didn't get any wins with it this month. Yeah, Defect definitely does love powers, definitely does love shops, because the guaranteed power is usually pretty nice for Defect, and then like orange pellets in particular is often a big part of Defect power. I said I was going to go through the runs one at a time and see if I could learn anything, but I didn't actually do that, and then I skipped all the way to the end. So let's go back and do that thing. Oh right, I saw the first one, and then I was like, let's figure out how many died to their boss swap. So then, is there anything we want to learn from this one? This one's the too aggressive Act 1 pathing, I think. So let's move on. This one's another die to the boss swap. I think we went too hard for reprograms too early at in this run, right? Like 2 reprograms by the Act 1 boss is like it's fun and it's memey. I guess we did have a hyper beam too. I don't know. It's hard to criticize this in retrospect. This seems like fairly strong for Guardian. I'm not really sure how we lost this, and it like looks good for Act 2 as well with the hyper beam. Why did we remove Zap at Bonfire Spirits? It's a weird line. Oh, maybe we must have gotten a reprogram from Tiny House. Or a reprogram. Yeah, because we upgraded a reprogram here without ever taking one. That makes sense why we we removed the Zap then. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird, but it's like, it's a plan, right? It seems like usually, like, if you can not get hit by Guardian on floor 2, reprogram should be fast enough to scale, to outscale him. But I guess that didn't happen here. I mean, we survived turn 2. We made it to turn 5. So assuming he didn't attack on turn 2, then, like, he was attacking on turn 3 and 4 in the ball form, so he died to the whirlwind attack. Don't you want fires to upgrade because Defect has insane upgrades? I mean, it's okay. Blem's take earlier was that Defect should do more conservative pathing than other classes, which is something we're seriously considering because we had a bunch of deaths to like floor 6 elites. I think we probably died too many times to the Defect for our pathing to be correct. Let's see, what are we learning from this one? I mean, I don't know. Don't swap into Tiny House? Is that the learning here? I wonder what the Tiny House cards were, because we took a reprogram, but like, what else was there? Probably wasn't any attacks, right? It was probably like reprogram and like leap or something. Oh yeah, what did Jeremiah do yesterday? We did win with the Tiny House swap, that's true. That's too bad. I don't want to overlearn from this run. I think this run maybe did reasonable stuff. It's hard to say from retrospect. This is a win. Lots of stuff to learn from wins, but I think we've already summarized all of it pretty well. This is like a power thingamajig deck. Oh, this was the infinite. When did we pick up the recycle? Because the recycle is really the card that says, like, this is going to be an infinite now. I mean, we did, oh, we just Pandora's Boxed into a recycle. That's so busted. Pandora's Box already, like, removes a ton of cards from the deck, and getting a recycle, too, is just so strong. Yeah. Actually, how many Pandora's Box swaps did we do? There's one. That's a win. Here, let me set up to do stats. So we got one win. There's no Pandora there. There's no Pandora there. No Pandora. There's a Pandora, and it's also a win. There's Pandora. This one's a loss. but I got to the heart, so that's something. So we always saw 3 Pandora's box in the month. 2 of them were wins, 1 of them was a loss. One of the wins was a really bad one too. It was a focus deck that got 2 reprograms. Oh man, Capacitor Storm Defrag is the first 3 cards. That's nuts. That's super fun. Yeah, I think I disagree, Redbeard. I think reprogram isn't like a huge power level outlier, right? It's not like you take a focus deck and you pivot when you see a reprogram. But I think if you see a reprogram on like floor 1, then it's usually correct to go for reprograms. We didn't get any wins with it this month, but it can be really powerful. Obviously, like, you know, if you have a Glacier in the deck or something, you're probably not gonna pick it, but or if, you know, a defrag, anything that says focus scaling. And there's a lot more defect focus scaling cards than there are reprogram cards, but I think the situation where you pick reprogram is not uncommon, at least for me. Having done the statistics on Pandora's box, I feel like we actually got pretty unlucky with swaps this month, because we got like 3 busted crowns in 21 swaps, and we also got 2 tiny houses and 2 ectoplasms. Oops, these are silent. Where like I would like to have seen more Pandora's boxes than that. Yeah, I think the super early reprogram is basically the only time to pick reprogram. Just to be clear, yeah. If your first pick is Ball Lightning, you're kind of already unable to pick reprogram. But yeah, you're definitely like fighting uphill. Picking reprogram is kind of like taking a busted crown, right? Because it's just like a bunch of the cards you see are going to be useless. But it's also like it's so strong, you know. And maybe like you're already doing Hyper Beam stuff. Sometimes Defect needs a way to like Hyper Beam is so good at Act 2 that you like pretty much always pick it. But then you need a way to like win the game after that, and Hyper Beam is not really gonna carry you through Act 3 unless like, you know, you have 4 strength and a bag of marbles and it's bottled and you have a Necronomicon or something. And I think reprogram can do that if you get like an early Hyper Beam too, but like usually it's just, yeah, only super early reprograms are the time to pick it. But I do love picking it early because it's, you know, it's your whole deck's plan, right? Being able to know what your whole deck's plan is on floor 1 is pretty great. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, Defect doesn't have amazing block cards, and I actually think that's a big problem for Defect. Like, you have to take like Equilibriums and stuff, and I don't think Equilibrium's a great card, but it's pretty much always a pick for Defect, just because like blocking for 13 is pretty incredible for Defect. They just don't have very many options. Like the next best thing is like Leap. It's like yikes. I mean, there's a couple of cards, right? Like Auto Shields is kind of okay too, but yeah, I mean, it's true. Equilibrium does help you set stuff up. I don't know if like the Retain is super useful. I don't know. Like Equilibrium fights with Snecko Eye is weird. I don't want to retain too many cards. You're comparing early reprogram to early Catalyst. I think that's a reasonable comparison. Yeah. Yeah, back in the day when Silent could only really play Poison, I definitely like would regularly pick a Catacurse, Catalyst Cursed. That didn't do anything, but you know I knew I was going to need the Poison eventually. Okay, other things we can learn. This one, we already learned this. Don't fight floor 6 elites, I think. 2 claws. That sounds fun. So this is an Act 2 hallway fight, and I'm looking here and I'm seeing no front-loaded block. Right? So like dying On turn 2 to Parasite Fungi Beast. Yep, that's not very surprising. Taking 31 damage to Muggers. Yep. So yeah, being able to get that early block it's not obvious how this can happen. And I think like if we hadn't taken 3 elites in Act 1, maybe we could have taken some block cards. I don't know exactly what that would be. Yeah, I guess a leap is the only card we saw. Cool head. Boy, it's tough. It's tough not to die to Act 2 as a defect. I don't, because I just looked at all the card rewards. There was basically no block cards. We skipped a leap and like a reprogram technically as block card and the cool head. That's it. That's like, you can still take a lot of damage to like muggers and avocados with those cards. The relics didn't block. This one seems like it would have been a tough one to win. Oh, thanks, Apina. You think the game overemphasizes Act 1 damage in a way that funnels players into forcing Act 2 damage? Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I mean, it sounds like both of us have the like super aggressive Act 1 elite plan that Blem was arguing against earlier, where it's like I'm always doing 3 or 4 elites if I can find them, and that like really forces you to take a bunch of damage, and then you're just not ready for Act 2. But maybe that's a strategic mistake that we're both making. Possibly. I still think it's probably correct, because like relics are so good. But it's possible that there's a better way to do it. I do want to avoid floor 6 elite specifically, which we did do in this run. Is it really right to World of Goop here? Whatever. This is another just like Snecko Eye win. I think we pretty much know how to win with Snecko Eye swaps. I don't think I'm going to learn anything from that. Only taking 3 elites of the seed makes it clear I should. So maybe I'm just crazy aggressive in Act 1. So I do like committing to 3 elites. I mean, obviously, like it's nice to have a path that gives you an out, and if you can do 2 instead of 3, that's fine. But I will commit to 3 elites pretty readily, which it sounds like it's probably wrong. Yeah, I mean, like, to be honest, like, all any of us have is anecdotes, right? Like, we've all got our own strategies, and, like, we play them out, but, like, to actually do the, like, math, you'd have to spend, like, a year playing, like, a single boss swap, right? To be like, alright, I figured out this one way to play the game. Even then, like, the game is so complicated, I don't know if it's even possible to figure it out. What did we learn from this one? When did we pick this Amplify? Amplify is always, like, a card I'm pretty suspicious about being correct. I think I remember this. I think it was, like, a late... Yeah, well, we upgraded it late. Maybe we picked it. No, I have no idea. I don't remember. I'm just going through. Did we skip a rare relic here? Oh, no, we didn't. Pocket Watch. Why is there a gap there? Weird. Did I miss it? Oh, there it is. So we picked a Act 2 Amplify. Yeah, I mean, I guess we did have Pyramid by that point, but it, like... Was it good? We only had, like, Bias Cog and Electro. I I guess we have loop plus. I don't know. I feel like this is a pretty weird pick. Yeah, we've heard your opinion about event nodes, Red Beardy. I'm familiar. I can't say I agree. I think event nodes are, you know, a way to sort of make minor progress on your metascaling without risking too much health. Generally, health does end up being the constraining factor for like how many elites you can fight. I mean, how important regular fights are depends a lot on like what you have, right? Like if you have White Beast statue, then like regular fights are tremendously strong, and you need to do a lot of them. But that's not always the case. I think huge decks are usually correct too. The bigger your deck is, the more consistent it is against the heart, right? Because you're going to get 5 statuses. So if you're able to just dilute those statuses among a bunch more cards, right, all the better. Also, you're diluting your starting basics, right? So you're less reliant on card removes. Obviously, you're less able to put together like specific card combos when you have a huge deck, but usually that's not a great plan anyway. I feel like we did a couple of pyramid runs and none of them got wins. Let's go take a look at pyramid stats here. Go back to the beginning. Okay. So no pyramid there, no pyramid, no pyramid, no pyramid. No pyramid there. There's a pyramid. Died in Act 2. I'll count that as pyramid loss. We picked it and died. No pyramid there. There's a pyramid. Also a loss. No pyramid there. There's a pyramid. Also a loss. There's a pyramid. Also a loss. There's pyramid. Another loss. So we got pyramided 5 times and lost every time. We never swapped into it. I think one of those losses, we picked a pyramid and were prevented from taking a Snecko later, which seems like kind of a big deal. Jorbs is very strong and manages small decks with lots of card draw. Huh, that's interesting. Yeah. It's true, we lost every pyramid run, every reprogram run, and every defrag run. We even lost, I think we lost all of our Biascog runs. I don't think we had a win with Biascog this month. Talk about making the wrong inferences from your decisions. Oh no, here's a Biascog, okay. Whew. I think if you count your event nodes, you'll find you wasted too many floors in your losses. I do not think that's true. I guess I can do that. It's gonna take a lot of time though. Like it would need to be like how do you measure that? I guess like we'll just measure the runs where we got to the heart, so that we're like measuring the same thing every time. But that's obviously there's gonna be survivorship bias introduced by that decision. But whatever. So, question marks. Wins and losses. Okay, so this is a win. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Nope. So this is a win with 11 question marks. This is a win with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we're up to 2 wins and 23 question marks. This is a loss with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 question marks. One loss with 13 question marks. This is a win with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 question marks. 3 and 33. This is also a win with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 question marks. So we're up to 4 and 44. For our wins, this is a loss with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 question marks. So 2 and 26. This is a loss with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 question marks. So 3 and 33. This is a win with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 question marks. So 5 and 52. I guess we could count Act 3 boss ones because there's no more question marks in the run, but I didn't start doing that, so I might come back and do that. Okay, so let's go back and evaluate the 2 Act 3 bosses, just to get more data. I'll start back from the beginning. Okay. This one didn't get to Act 3. This one we already counted because it's a heart fight. This one already counted because it's a heart fight. That one already counted. I think we only died to Act 3 bosses, like, what, 2 times? So it's probably only going to add a couple. Yeah, we only died to... So they're both right at the end. They're both right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14? That's a ton. So this one is our 4th loss, takes us up to 47. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for this one. So 5 and 57. So out of the 10 runs where we got to the Act 3 bosses, we did 5 more total question marks over the month in our losses than our wins, 52 versus 57. I don't really consider that to be a big difference, especially when you consider the survivorship bias, because runs that are about to lose are more likely to consider themselves to be unlikely to win fights and go to question marks to survive. So I would have expected this difference to be even larger. It's not really totally fair to Redbeardy's point though, because like I think Redbeardy's point is that if I picked fewer question marks, I would win more, and I didn't make any significant variance in my question mark picking strategy over the course of the month. So there's not really any data to measure here, but I don't think we got any strong signal from the measurement we did do. You make the data more comparable if you compare in heart wins and heart losses. Well, that's what we did at first, but there's no question marks in Act 4, so I don't see why that really improves anything. Okay, is there anything else we want to learn here? I forget where we were in the, like, clicking forward to try and learn things from individual runs thing. This is just a fun relic rollout. I just like Kursky, Omamori, Warp Tongues all in Act 1. That's kind of hilarious. Did 3 elites. Yeah, we definitely could have won. We just like greeted an upgrade here, and I guess we weren't allowed to. We weren't fast enough. 8 turns is the too slow mark. And I guess it's not that surprising, because like Core Surge, Genetic Algorithm, Seek all exhaust. So like a bunch of our power was just fleeting. We were trying to rebound that reprogram, but it's not fast enough for Hexaghost, I guess. I mean, it probably would have been fast enough if it had lined up perfectly. If we'd had like reprogram rebound in the opening hand, I bet we would have won this fight, but I don't know. I don't know if we can really learn anything super significant from that. This was such a weird one. Were we ever offered a consume in this round? Because I feel like a consume is like an obvious win here, because we had capacitor, runic capacitor, and inserter. I mean, it's not like an obvious one, because we died to birds in reality, and consume's not like run winning against birds, but I just want to see if we got one. We skipped a claw, and then we got a kunai, and then we took a claw. It's kind of a funny little sequence. Yeah, it doesn't look like we skipped a consume. Picking a capacitor after buying a runic capacitor is kind of weird. Why do we do that? Isn't that just like an empty card? Like, what's the point of this capacitor? Yeah, I probably should just picked the equilibrium here. Equilibrium would have been way better. How many rests versus upgrades in various runs? It's an interesting statistic to go look for. What are we trying to learn? Like, do we think we're supposed to be resting more? What problem are we solving? Do you expect to start a run soon? No. So, so if you're watching on mute, you haven't been following what's going on. I'm just analyzing my past month of doing defect runs. So this is going to be the whole stream. I'm actually almost done. You think defect wants to rest more often? Let's count. I'm just going to count total upgrades and total rests. I guess I'll do it in wins and losses. No, I'm just going to do totals, and then see if I think that's too much or too little. Because our wins are so weird in this month. Our wins were just like all the ones where we got Snecko Eye. So I don't really want... I don't know if the... Yeah, I don't think that's productive to think about. One upgrade, one rest, two upgrades. So we're up to 2 upgrades, 1 rest. This was an upgrade. 1, 2 upgrades. 1, 2, 3 upgrades. Wow. We're up to 8 upgrades and 1 rests in the first 3 runs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 upgrades, no rests the entire run. 11 upgrades. Jesus. Wow, we never rest. Oh, I guess we couldn't rest. Oh, I'm just taking those 11 off because this is a coffee derper swab. I don't even... shouldn't have counted those. Not allowed to rest here. There's 1 rest. Rest and a dig. I'm going to count digs as upgrades. So 3 upgrades, 1 rest. 1, 2, 3, 4 upgrades, 5, 6, 7. There's 1 rest. So 2 rests, 7 upgrades. 1, 2, 3. Nope. 2 rests, 4 upgrades, 3 rests, 5 upgrades, 6 upgrades, 3 rests. So we're up to 24 and 7. This is 2 upgrades. Oops, I wrote those down as 2 rests. That's wrong. This is a rest and an upgrade. 1 for each. That's a rest. It's a rest before we immediately died, but you know, still counts. 2, 3 rests. 3 rests and an upgrade. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope. 6, 7, 8 upgrades, 1 rest. 36 versus 13. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. Yeah, removes also count. So 4, 5, 6. Oh, nope. 6, 7, 8. Oh, right. This is the 9-piece pipe run. So no rest here, just 9 upgrades. And obviously recall counts as neither. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 upgrades and 1 rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 upgrades, no rest. 1, nope. 2, 3, 4, 5 upgrades, 2 rests, so 63 and 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, nope. 6, 7 upgrades, no resting. Dang. I don't rest very much. So that's 70. That's true, there are like feather things. Good point. This is an upgrade. There might have been another coffee dripper in there that I was ignoring. 1, 2 upgrades, 1 rest. 1, 2, 3, 4 upgrades. Hey, what are you trying to analyze? Currently, we're just taking statistics on how often we rest and how often we upgrade, and how often we upgrade at fires. Once we have the statistics, we can see if if we think that behavior is correct or incorrect. I haven't formed any opinion yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 upgrades and a bunch of rests here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 and 4. Interesting. So 82 and 22. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope. 4, 5, 6. So 6 upgrades, 3 rests here. 88 and 28 is the last one. 1, nope. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 upgrades, and what was that? 5 rests? 94 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So we ended up resting 33 times and upgrading 94 times. So about 3 times as many upgrades as rests. Yeah, I think there's several runs in the month when if we had rested, we would have survived a fight. No, definitely not more than upgrade. Yeah. No, I understand your meaning, Redbeard. Just like rest more than other classes. Yeah, clearly we don't want to rest when we don't need to, right? We want to upgrade if we can. Sort of interesting. Yeah, I think that's actually going to be a takeaway, is like rest more before bosses. I'm just going to change it to rest more. I think it is probably correct to rest more. I think we probably lost a couple of runs that we could have survived if we'd just been a little bit more conservative. We also lost a run where we fought Sphere and died. Which is like... There's sort of like 3 takeaways here that are like, be more conservative, right? I've got like avoid floor 6 elites and rest more, and then like don't die to Sphere, so it's like probably being a little bit too aggressive. I feel like if you're gonna miss though, you probably want to miss by being a little bit too aggressive. Does the combat inflow include overkill? It does, yeah. If you get swatted down by 1,000,000. Also, if you trigger a fairy or a lizard tail, it'll show you silly numbers. Alright, what else can we learn? I don't remember where we were, so let's go back to the beginning. We did this one, we did that one. This one just breaks my heart. I don't want to look at it anymore. Yeah, sure. I see, because if you get overkilled, then resting is unlikely to have saved you. If you get overkilled by a bunch. I really wish they told you how much damage you did to the enemy in the fight that you lost. Like, how close was it? Do you like the card that costs 4 and exhausts? I do not. I'm not a fan of it or self-repair. So I do agree that it's kind of like a budget self-repair. Although Defect usually has easier access to self-repair than Bandage. I think the problem with both cards is like, A, I'm not that excited about a card that costs 1 and blocks for 7. That's like worse than a leap. And B, it only really blocks for 7 if you like have blocked out this turn and survived the fight. So, or I guess, yeah. I guess that should be an or instead of an and. Well, you have to survive the fight. It only blocks out for 7 if you survive the fight. And you only gain health if you block out every turn for the whole fight. So I don't really consider self-repair to be like a reliable way of healing. Obviously, I'll take a self-repair if there's like a mummified hand, or an echo form, or if I'm at like 1 health or something. But I think in general, not tremendously good. Right, yeah, the block for 7 is a little bit inelegant, right? Yeah, but being able to actually heal only works if you block every turn. It is kind of neat that it can block for 7 on it can block for a 7 on a turn that already happened, or a turn that's going to happen in the future, but like... I don't think they're win more cards, exactly. I just think they're like inefficient. They just don't do very much for the energy and the card draw you put into them. This is already covered by the avoid early elites logic. What do we learn from the Black Star swap loss? I remember this one. I like swapped into Black Star and I was like, okay, great, that should be a win, right? And we died in Act 2. Ever since you said it's like Block 7, I've started avoiding self-repair, and 2/3 of the time I've regretted it. That's very interesting feedback. I don't know if I've ever regretted skipping a self-repair. Huh. Yeah, obviously if you have a coffee dripper, it's useful, because just any source of healing is good. If you already have like a ritual dagger and you're like hanging out in fights and doing side quests, then like sure. Get another side quest, do some meta scaling. There's obviously like situations where self-repair is insane. Obviously, Echo Form I mentioned before, but I just want to call out Echo Form makes self-repair super, super good because it can really heal you to full. Yeah, I mean, if you're surviving the fight, it's like a somewhat efficient block card that can happen on any turn and potentially heal you even higher. So it's okay. Yeah, if you do health neutral, then it's a block card, right? It doesn't necessarily block on the turn you played it. Just blocks on whatever turn. Obviously, it's also really good if you have apparitions. Apparitions tends to be a lot of fights where A, you don't take any damage, or B, you take like 5 damage. Obviously, like 7 is a large portion of your max HP when you have apparitions. So, a lot of situations where self-repair is good. But in general, I would say it's bad. Just like off the bat, I don't like it. Yeah, apparitions are silly. Man, Black Star fought 3 Act 1 elites. Died in Act 2. This is just a no-block deck, right? It's a defrag with no frost orbs. Genetic algorithm, even if it comes up at the perfect turn, is not going to block you for 4 turns against Book of Stabbing. Did we skip any front-loaded block? I think I looked at this one already. We skipped like a leap. Oh no, I'm wrong. No, we took a leap. We took and upgraded a leap. Oh, we upgraded it Shining Light. Had an Orichalcum, that's block. GA. Yeah, we didn't really skip much. We skipped a Charge Battery for a Consume. That's a little weird. This was probably meant to be Charge Battery. But, I mean, Consume's not wrong either, right? We had Data Disk already, and a Defrag, so getting extra focus is pretty good. Yeah. Book of Stabbing is definitely a big challenge. Also, he's just like, he's so different from the other Act 2 elite fights, right? The other ones are both like AoE fights, and Defect. Book of Stabbing is like, it's a damage race where you need to like block for 30 a turn. Hey, some 125. Yeah, other than the Charge Battery, I don't know if there's really any mistakes in this run. I think there's too much to learn here. The Knowing Skull was pretty bad. Maybe we were just supposed to skip the Knowing Skull. That's true. I don't really pick Static Discharge very much. And it definitely, like, it's very good in specific situations. And I think cards that are very good in specific situations are really good Slay the Spire cards, right? Particularly when you have like a lot of card draw. I really do like decks that just like have a bunch of different tools for different fights. It is sort of like an inherently high variance way to play the game, because like if you don't draw your specific solution for your specific fight in that fight, then that's a problem. And if you spend, other fights drawing only solutions to different fights, that's also a problem. Or if you like miss your card draw. But yeah, I really don't pick Static Discharge very much at all. Because I feel like Slay the Spire like encourages you so hard to be like really efficient in fights, and being really efficient and Static Discharge are somewhat at odds. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to pick more Static Discharge and more Self-Repair, right? And sort of have those counteract each other. I kind of doubt it, but yeah, I'm with Sum 125. I pretty much only get an Act 4 Static Discharge. I mean, I'll pick it if I have power synergy stuff, like Heat Sinks or Mummified Hand or whatever. I think I underpick Caltrops as well, though. So it's like, yeah. I mean, I think I probably pick Caltrops more than Static Discharge, which is kind of strange, right? Static Discharge is like pretty much just as good. Yeah, I guess Hexaghost. Hexaghost is a good reason to pick Static Discharge. That's actually kind of curious feedback, Blum, because like you have to get the static discharge on like turn 1 or 2, or else it's not a. Or else like you're waiting for turn 8 to do the big 6 times attack and try to turn it around on him. Sounds dangerous. I think actually Caltrops is still quite good, even today. Yeah, obviously Silent has other damage solutions now, but. We already learned what we're going to learn from this. Snecko Eye, Meteor Strike. Moving on. This run is so weird to evaluate, because it's just like, Peace Pipe just did so much work here. I think maybe I might underpick Creative AI. I think there's situations where I skip Creative AI, because I'm like, well, I don't have that many powers. But having a Creative AI in the deck just really, like, opens up some... Showed the power of an early Tiny House. Yeah, for that incredible 2 Elite Act 1. Wow. Yeah, just being able... I don't know how we got ourselves in a position to toke 9 times, but toking 9 times is pretty solid. Yeah, Creative AI is just... It could solve, like, pretty much the entire boss gauntlet, right? It's like it could solve Act 3 bosses and Act 4. It is slow. It's slow for Act 3 bosses, too. But if you can survive long enough to set up Creative AI, it's very good. Is that a takeaway? Should I pick more Creative AIs? I think Creative AI is overrepresented in wins. I'm not sure if that's enough to convince me to take it more, but I guess I'll consider it. Hold on, let's do some stats on it. Okay, so wins and losses. You need tiny decks for Creative AI? I don't think that's true. I don't see any reason why that would be true. So no Creative AI there. Looking for Creative AI. Nope. Didn't get many of them. That one's a win. There's one. That one's a loss. Probably should have been a win, but we killed ourselves with Sphere. There's a Creative AI, also in a loss. But Creative AI can also be the way that you block, right? Creative AI gives you, like, capacitors and defrags and stuff. If you have pellets, it can give you bias cog too. Oh wow, we only saw 3 Creative AIs all month. Or at least we only picked 3 Creative AIs. One of them won, 2 of them lost. So I guess the stats say don't pick it, but that's such a small sample size, it's tough to do. Yeah, exactly, Redbeard. I've talked a lot about that, because it's like, we won 5 times, and 3 of them were, like, Snecko Eye shenanigans, so it's like, how do you... do you, like, try to get more Snecko Eyes? Like, there's not really any way to do that. That's just luck. So, I don't know. Alright, let me finish going through the... runs, and then I will offer some closing thoughts, and we'll get this done. This was the Barrage Astrolabe. Or actually, one of the 2 Barrage Astrolabes. We had 2 runs that Astrolabe into Barrage, which is weird. Oh, this was the one where we died to Sphere. Because we were too slow? Yeah, I would have liked to see what this was as a full deck. Looks like we were aiming for Consume, but didn't find one. Maybe this was like a deck that did too much Hyper Beam and then didn't have an Act 3 plan. I don't see an Act 3 plan in here. It is crazy that we killed 4 Act 2 Elites, yeah. Sphere and Act 2 Elites are like pretty similar too. They're kind of just like a big Act 2 Elite. It's an Apparitions deck that died to Guardian. Spears do scale a lot faster. They've also got more health, which I think was the problem for that deck. That deck was like, I'm gonna Hyper Beam Slavers, right? And then he Hyper Beamed Slavers. Actually, he never fought Slavers. Oh, he did. For some reason, Slavers is just called Taskmaster. But Hyper Beam doesn't really work very well against Sphere because they've got too much health. I don't know. I feel like this one is just like a reprogram wasn't fast enough. If you're gonna do reprogram, you needed like a smaller deck and more recursion. Looking at this deck now, I would think that this would work. I would think this would be enough against Automaton. Did we not get an app on Hyper Beam? The damage suggests that we did, because we lasted 6 turns, which is before his Hyper Beam goes off, right? He Hyper Beams on like 8 or something. There was plenty of damage in this deck. There's 2 reprograms and a Shuriken, so we were strength scaling. Hyper Beam's on 6. So I guess we did die on the Hyper Beam turn, but it doesn't seem like we took much damage on that turn. I don't know. And like Hyper Beam does way more than 36 damage, so I'm not sure why we died to it. Huh. Yeah, that sounds right. Not sure what to learn out of this. Get better orreries. Maybe like we need to pick more recursion-y stuff in Act 1. We skipped a hologram here for an early genetic algorithm, though. Seems hard to question. Wait, we got 2 genetic algorithms in a row? Oh, no, it's the same thing. There's another rebound we skipped. Yeah, there's another rebound we skipped. Why did we take a cool head? We already had 2 reprogram pluses. That's a bizarre decision. Huh. I can't make heads or tails of that. Why in the world would we take a cool head? We didn't even upgrade it. Were we like trying to do an infinite? What is that? That's a clear mistake. We skipped a recycle too, so we're clearly not trying to do an infinite. Huh. What a weird run. I'm gonna take that add that as a takeaway. I'm gonna take more recursion. In Act 1 specifically. Act 2 too. 2 Core Surge. Another reprogram deck. I feel like Ritual Dagger does pretty well on Defect. I think maybe picking more Ritual Daggers would be nice. It's so rare, though, that you get the event. Why are we picking more recursion? So there's a couple of cards that scale really well with recursion, like Dual Cast, Claws, Reprograms, getting Apparitions out of the discard pile. Specifically for this run, we like skipped a couple of recursion effects, and then ended up with 2 reprograms where we like clearly wanted more recursion, and then we didn't scale fast enough for Bronze Automaton. So if we'd had more recursion, we could have won this fight. Was my analysis. I don't know if that's 100% correct, but the Monday morning quarterback seems like we probably shouldn't have skipped this rebound. Oh no, sorry, not recursion the card. Sorry, no, recursion the... I'm talking about rebound and hologram. I just want a group word to refer to the things that can recur cards. Sorry. I didn't realize that was an actual card name. And was making a mistake. Um, what do we learn from this one? There's like a Hyper Beam Necronomicon that just like, that isn't strong enough to kill the heart. Is that the learning here? This is another one where if we had more reprogram, we could have made, or maybe more recursion, we could have recurred this reprogram. Looked like that was the way we were scaling. Suffer by plus. I mean, I do pick it. There's a lot of situations where it's good. Just like, I think by default you're not in one of them. Were we offered more recurring cards is what I'm going to say now. We were offered a literal recursion, which does not have the effect that I was talking about. There's a hologram we skipped. Oh, we skipped a hologram for a chaos? God, how did chat talk me into that? I hate chaos, and I love hologram. How in the world did I do that? Ugh. That's so gross. I can't believe I did that. I think I remember this situation, too. I'm pretty sure somebody in chat was like, no, chaos is so good. Ugh. No, I don't like chaos. No, I did it. I take responsibility. Sorry, I'm just memeing by blaming chat. Any new safe conclusions? So the takeaways so far is we want to avoid floor 6 elites, and in general, probably path a little bit more conservatively in Act 1. We always pick Snecko and Meteor Strike when playable. We need to increase our front-loaded block picks in Act 1. So we need to pick like more holograms and leaps and the card that retains your hand, equilibriums and stuff. We might want to pick more card draw, a little bit questionable there. I pretty much pick every Glacier I see, so I don't think I can really increase my pick rate for Glaciers. Maybe rest a little bit more before like difficult challenges, and we're going to try and pick more holograms and rebounds in Act 1 and Act 2. What makes Meteor playable? Yeah, having any access to 5 energy, basically. Meteor was in like almost all of our wins, so, and it like basically never lost, so Meteor seems pretty strong. Yeah, it did lose one time, but okay. This is a loss to the heart. I don't want to overlearn about this one because I think this one was an 80% win. Is what we said about this one before. Just like a bunch of powers and like Storm and Thunderstrike and stuff. It seems like really fun, but then we just like randomly bottom decked everything and dead the heart in 5 turns. Ooh, show bread. Yeah, sure. I made some bread yesterday. It's on the counter. I'll go grab it. Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. Really tasty. Show cat now. Sure. Wonder where she's at. Yeah, that bread actually, it didn't rise quite as much. I took both of the loaves out of the oven at the same time, and well, someone 25 just used the coconut option, so clearly he's aware of it. So I took both of the loaves out at the same time, and then put one of them in the oven, and the one I put in second, it like flattened out a little bit and didn't rise as much. So I think in the future I'm gonna take them out one at a time and then bake them and then take the other one out. And I'll go get coconut. Go get coconut. There we go, I found her. I looked in all of her old favorite sunspots and she wasn't there, and then I looked in her new favorite sunspot and she was there. Yeah, she's a little sweetie. She was so asleep, I like started petting her and she was just like, yes, okay, but I'm still asleep. And then I started picking her up and she was like, oh no, now I'm yawning. Stretched her little cat legs way out, with her little claws out. Okay, here we go. Used Seek and found coconut. It's super effective. Okay, so yeah, this one's basically a win. We just like happen to not actually get one. This one is so weird. I don't even know what I was thinking. I'm not gonna like have any takeaways from this because it's just like, why would you at 22 health take 21 damage to Shining Light? Like, what in the world was I thinking? Just like, I saw Velvet Choker and I was like, I guess that I'll have to just like super commit to getting every ounce of value out of these events, or else I lose? Like, why would Velvet Choker make me think that? So confused about this run. Just totally, like, gave that one away for free, so... yeah, I don't know, but, like, why did I think I was losing? I think, so my past analysis of this was, there must not have been very many elites available, so I was, like, trying to spend health at hallway fights. But, like, spending all of your health means that you die. This is another one we already know about. This is his floor 6 elite. This is the much bemoaned floor 6 Gremlin Knob killed me even though I took all attacks run. So this one's probably the clearest signal from the entire month that we're doing something a little wrong. What happened here? Just a classic defrag loss. There's no way to win with that card. Can't be done. Got an Electro and lost. Took 55 damage while we were at 23 to a Book of Stabbing, so that we went the fairy. It's a Pocket Watch run. I think this the run. The learning from this one is always boss swap. Oh, it's interesting. What's your how does my analysis of defrag versus biascog differ from yours? I'm gonna make that as a takeaway. I just always swap. There's no, like, the two where we didn't swap, we didn't have good outcomes. I mean, I guess maybe, but I was pretty much already doing that. Yeah, nothing to learn from this one. This is just a bad swap. Ground killed us. This is a win. We've already talked about the wins a bunch. It's Meteor Strike, Snecko Eye. Moving on. This one didn't have a plan, and we skipped a bunch of claws. Right? Wasn't this the one where we had like 6 claws offered to us? I just see like 1 here. Oh no, here's another one. So this one we kind of like took that like fairly conservative Act 1 path. We took 4 fires and 2 elites. And then we like found the front-loaded block, right? We got a Chem-X and like a reinforced body. I think my battles tend to run longer than yours, so Biascog tends to be intimidating for me, and I don't like it. But defrag is just good. Interesting. Yeah, that makes sense. Wow, you take defrag over Biascog. We definitely have different evaluations of those cards, man. Yeah, I mean, I feel like usually you play Biascog, and then even if the fight ends in like 3 turns, you're still like way ahead. It needs to be run for 8 turns before it becomes negative. That's kind of true, kind of false. Because, like, you're not comparing Bias Cog to nothing, right? You're comparing it to some other card in your hand. And so if you imagine that that other card is Defrag, then, like, even when Bias Cog is, like, down to, like, neutral focus, it's already pretty negative comparatively. Also, like, 1 turn of having negative focus is much worse than, like, 1 turn of having, like, +1 or 0 focus. Because, you know, your Frost Orbs start to block for 0 pretty quickly. It's not like the positive and negative really mathematically equal each other here. Oh, wow. Only Frost Orb and Bias got to -3? Dang. Yeah, you definitely have to, like, think before you play Bias Cog, right? Because sometimes it's... if you pull the trigger too early, you'll kill yourself. Yeah, this deck just needed a plan, but I'm not sure how to, like, phrase that as a takeaway, like, have something that wins the game. Took 85 to Time Eater. It's good enough focus to win hallway fights, but, yeah. In this deck, there's a lot of Frost. I mean, yeah, kinda. Just 2 Cold Snaps, a Glacier, and a Cool Head. You think that's way too much Frost, huh? Interesting. I mean, the deck was good at blocking. Just, like, didn't have any damage. Oh, you're responding to Miranda. Gotcha. How do you feel about Chemical X for the different classes? I mean, it's like really obviously useless for Watcher. Is the most obvious like takeaway for Chem X. But it's good in all the other classes pretty much. It's particularly good on Silent. Silent has a couple of just like amazing hits for Chem X. It's got 3 total X cost cards, all of them pretty good hits. I am saying that. If you like Conjure Blade, you can fight me. Conjure Blade's terrible. It's probably like the best X cost deck is Silent, and then Defect, and then Ironclad, and then Watcher would be my ranks. But I still don't really like taking a speculative Chemex in any of the classes. Yeah, Chemex plus Whirlwind is definitely good in Ironclad, but it's not as good as like Chemex multicast, for example. But multicast is a rare, so it's a little bit apples to oranges. Yeah, I don't think there's any way I can like, I don't know. I think that I think maybe taking more speculative picks in Act 1. Sort of makes sense, right? It's in line with the other like takeaways, right? To be more conservative about pathing in Act 1. Because if we take in like a speculative claw here, I think we would have been able to make this into a claw deck, whereas it kind of just turned into a nothing deck. It was like a survive deck, and that was sad. And this is the final deck. Obviously, no takeaways from this one. This one was super fun. 4 madnesses. Just like sort of biffed it against Awaken 1. Okay, so yeah, so I think the feedback for, at least for my Defect play, is pretty clear. We're playing Act 1 wrong. We're being too aggressive. We're not picking enough block cards. We're not picking enough combo cards. So we're gonna, in the future, when we play Defect, we're always gonna swap, and we're gonna go for like 2 elites, maybe 3 if we're like get lucky. But we're gonna go for like later elites so that we have more time to get the attacks, and we have time to pick things like Hologram and Red Rebound. And we're gonna rest more if we are running into fights we're not sure we're gonna win. And I think that's it. I think that's all we're learning from this month. And pick neither defrag nor reprogram. Right, those are all bad, as is pyramid. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the month. No, apparitions worked really well. Apparitions, we were like 3 out of 4 with wins. Apparitions are great. Okay.